MBIRD team.com.
Hey, it's Ty Richardson. Got a lot going on during the week. I really don't want to leave the office, but my stomach's still growling. Thankfully, my buddy Mitchell introduced me to DK Fit Meals. David and his team put together incredible meal preps for me each and every week. Mitchell, I'm sure glad you recommended DK Fit Meals.
And with Arkansas basketball season underway, finding time to cook every night just isn't that easy. So with DK Fit Meals, I've got meals that are ready to go in just a matter of minutes. Find your flavor at dkfitmeals.com. That's dkfitmeals.com. So easy, even Ty can do it. Fuel your life with DK Fit Meals.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
For today, lots of sunshine. Our high temperatures this afternoon will be into the lower 60s. We will see cloudy to partly cloudy skies tonight, and overnight low will drop down into the mid-40s. Wednesday, just a little sunshine through the clouds at times. Highs in the upper 60s to low 70s. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
The weather is brought to you by Forest Green Incorporated, committed to setting the standard of excellence since 1936. KERX Paris Fort Smith, broadcasting live from the Busch Light Studios. This is the Morning Rush. Broadcasting on ESPN Arkansas and streaming on hitthatline.com.
We got a good one tonight. You got a team in here that doesn't respect you.
Live from the Busch Light Studios.
Don't ask me if I'm all right. Why can't they dominate? And we not doing it.
We're going to go get one and celebrate on somebody else's field.
Yeah.
People said you had very motivational words at halftime.
It's halftime with Phil Olsen and Matt Jones.
From the bottom of my toes to the top of my head. What's my heart, dog? Let's go, man.
I have zero respect for saying no moss at halftime.
They were one Razorback.
It's vintage Matt Jones.
The Cinderella story is over, man. Let's go.
Call or text 877-377-6963. Now, here's Phil Olsen and Matt Jones.
Good morning, 11:01. It's a Tuesday, and we got our first midweek series for Arkansas baseball coming up later on this afternoon on many of these very same stations you're listening to. Right now, you got halftime on ESPN Arkansas and hitthatline.com. Phil Elson. I'm in the Baum Walker radio booth today. I'll be here for probably most of the day. And my partner, Matt Jones, in studios along with Christian Johnston. Good morning to you guys. It's windy today. The wind's blowing in from right field. I don't know what it'll look like in about 4 hours when the game starts. But I had to make sure I had my hat on nice and tight because the wind was ready to blow it off my scalp earlier today, Matt. And you know me, I don't have a lot of hair to keep that hat on my head.
Happy Tuesday. It's game day. What else do you want, man?
That's right. Exactly right. We got an in-state competition again. Arkansas State, the opponent for the next 2 days. And lots to get to as far as that's concerned. We got basketball tomorrow. And I just want to say, I feel like, Matt, last year, when was it that you made your prediction for Ohio State? It was 2 years ago for Ohio State to win the national title.
Well, I picked Michigan, Ohio State, LSU. That's my last three, so I got 2 in a row right.
Did you make a pick for next football season?
I haven't. Maybe. Well, we talked about it. I'm nervous about making a pick, because my credibility's on the line. Yeah. No, I got lucky. I did. I picked 2 in a row. Then LSU, and they didn't even make the finals last year. So we'll have to get our feelers out and get a taco bet on it.
Yeah, with all the changes in terms of coaching staffs at the top and everything else that goes along with it, and the portal too. I guess you feel it's a little more difficult to make a way too early pick in January. But I'd like to put a vote forward for the Georgia Bulldogs.
It's a good pick. It's a good solid pick.
Well, I mean, almost any year you'd feel like that, right? Just not that you'd pick them to win the national title, but it's just one of those programs that's going to be in the mix, and they were in the mix last year. I don't know if the other shows got into it today, but I heard Bill King talking about this, and I saw something about it on Twitter when I woke up this morning at 5 o'clock. I had to pack a whole bunch of stuff for a 9-day trip, but that's neither here nor there. I saw somebody make a post saying that they had just gone to dinner at Spurrier's restaurant in Gainesville. I was about to say Greenville. In Gainesville. And, you never know what's going to happen when you walk into that restaurant. I've gone there with family before a baseball series, and little did I know that later on, while we were sitting there, Coach Spurrier walks in, grabs a microphone, and just starts talking to the entire crowd. I felt like I was watching a documentary of sorts. So these people go to dinner there last night, and they didn't realize, and I didn't realize too that there's, I don't know exactly what this award is. I haven't looked it up yet, but it's a Spurrier Coaching Award. And they had the banquet for it last night. These people say, I walked into the Spurrier's restaurant, and all of a sudden a roast broke out. So you end up, and you can see this on Facebook or Twitter or TikTok or whatever. There's this back and forth with Mario Cristobal and Kirby Smart. And John Summerall's there too, of course, because the Florida coach is going to be there. Spurrier's on stage, just on one of those like bar stool level seats with his arms folded, just watching this and laughing. And we can play some of this later. I don't want to play it right now, but let's just say that. Did Miami have the better season than Georgia last year, Matt? Georgia won the SEC championship. Miami did not win their league championship, but they go all the way to the championship game for the Natty. So how do you view it?
Well, you know how I view it. If you get a chance to hang a banner, then you hang a banner. If you don't win the national championship, you don't win the SEC championship, and you don't win the SEC regular season title, then no. But Georgia did one of those things. They call it the treble. You see it a lot more in soccer when it's the domestic league, the domestic cup, and then the Champions League. They call it the treble. It's the same concept. You win your regular season, you win your tournament, and then you win the Champions League, the big tournament, the playoff tournament. So you're trying to win the same thing in basketball. You're trying to win a regular season title, a conference tournament championship, and an NCAA champion. And sometimes they give you a Final Four in basketball, and I get that. So if you make the Final Four, you get to hang a banner. But the team that won an SEC title had a better season than the team that didn't win any titles.
There you go.
That's simple. It's easy. That's why does it not matter? Regular season should matter.
Well, and so Georgia did win the SEC championship in Cristobal last night during his portion of this. I don't know if they planned on roasting each other. Says, congratulations on your SEC championship. We went 5-0 against the SEC. I don't know what you did. And then talks about, the idea of Carson Beck is finally a great quarterback with good coaching. And did you enjoy watching us all the way to the championship? And there was some other back and forth that we can play. But why I'm going to pick Georgia right now was the look I saw on Kirby Smart's face.
Spite.
Well, it was the same look that I saw. And I'll bring this up before we were talking on the phone earlier about this, Matt. I don't remember what event this was. This might have been 2013 or 14, and this is it was at a correspondence dinner, but Obama's president, and he's delivering some remarks. Donald Trump is in the audience, and at that point, I don't remember if he had announced he was running for president yet, but he obviously had certain opinions about Obama that that the then president would have taken issue with, and he talked smack down to Trump in the seats. And this isn't a matter of politics, but I'll never forget. And I think what Obama said was, I'll have something you'll never have, which is being elected president twice. And now look what's happened, right? Who got the last laugh as far as that's concerned? But it was the look on Trump's face. And I remember seeing this, where he just has this kind of like a half smirk, laughing inwardly, I'll show you kind of a face. And that's exactly what I saw from Kirby Smart yesterday, was an I'll show you kind of a look. And while, Trump and Obama never went head-to-head as far as an election's concerned, we could very well, Matt, see Georgia and Miami in a playoff. And I hope it happens now. And I'm ready to make my pick. I'm going to pick Georgia, and you know why.
I like Georgia. That's for sure. Miami's going to have a new quarterback. You kind of fall into this routine of expectation. I don't know if entitlement's the right word, but when you show up to a team that's having success, nothing's guaranteed. You got to go out there and earn it. It's not just going to be easy because everybody circles that game. Everybody circles Georgia Bulldogs. Everybody circles the Miami Hurricanes. So you got to be able to bring it. So hopefully their transfer portal stuff is working out. And we had Bill King on a lot last year, and he talked about that front seven on both sides of the ball was the best he had seen in Miami for a long time. So are they going to be the same there? You're going to have receivers. You're going to have talent. Injuries. You got to get a little lucky on both sides. But, yeah, Miami and Georgia, they both teams right now in spring or almost spring. I guess if you're in New York, it was 16 inches of winter last night. But those are good picks. Those are both good picks.
You got to see this video for two things. One, to watch Spurrier in the background. He's having so much fun. Even watching the Miami coach deliver remarks talking smack on Florida on their win over the Gators last year, and even when Kirby talks about he never realized how great of a basketball town Gainesville is, and Spurrier's back there laughing about it. It's that and the look on Smart's face. Matt, when you see his face, maybe you'll be ready to pick Georgia too. It's like a pissed off Kirby Smart. But then again, I don't know. They didn't win a national title last year, even have a chance to play for it for the last 2 years. So I'm sure he's pretty ticked off about that before. It's just, I don't know if there had been a coach that had publicly poked him the way that Cristobal did last night.
Nobody made any funny comments about the speeding tickets that the Georgia Bulldog players get, the 47 they've gotten the last 5 years.
I did not.
So that was the low-hanging fruit. Nobody even went there, huh?
That would be fruit you don't even have to jump for.
Everybody knows that one, huh?
Well, yeah, there's also the death. There's a couple of deaths that I think that go along with that. That maybe somebody may be a little.
That's why they stay away from
dip their toes in. But I all I saw is a 2-minute bit from Cristobal and a 2-minute bit from Smart, which we can play some of that later on. I'm pretty sure there weren't any of the 7 words you can't say on radio, but you can of course say on podcasts. So, but it's entertaining stuff. That's for sure. Again, you never know what's going to happen. You ever have a restaurant where you just never know what's going to happen when you walk in? I feel like Herman's Rib House may be like that to folks in Northwest Arkansas.
That's true. You never know who you'll see there. I'd go up there and eat with the late great Dean Weber. I love some Dean Weber, but we'd go up there probably, I don't know, twice a month or so for a couple years. We were going up there, and there would just be player or old head or somebody that like he'd be like, that's so and so, and that's so and so. Like you could just, they kind of go in. Nobody's like, hey, look at me, but it's like, oh, that's so and that's so and so. Yeah, always up there. And then Nick, who runs it up there, he's the best.
Athlete roasts are the best. That's fun. Like when you're in a situation where everybody feels comfortable that they can say what they want to say, and nowadays there's got to be fewer of those moments just because everything's being recorded. There wasn't anything that either of those coaches said that's going to get them in trouble. It's just smack talk going back and forth. But it's like I want to go back and watch some of the Dean Martin roasts now, Matt, and get some material. You got to get the good stuff.
You got to get Nikki Glazer up there emceeing. The best one you said was he said, "Isn't your daughter a real estate agent?" Said, "I've just got 4 of your last coaches fired, so she's got plenty of work." That's pretty good.
Yeah, that's some of the stuff that I think we might be able to play as we get through it. All right, here's halftime today for this Tuesday. I'm out at 1:30 to go down and talk with DVH. We got a 2:30 dugout show for 3 o'clock first pitch, Arkansas versus Arkansas State. By the way, the Razorbacks have outscored A-State in 5 games since they started playing again in 2021, 48-11, 7-3 last year. The other 4 games have been blowouts. We'll see what goes on. It's actually a pretty good A-State team, especially when it comes to the hitting that they've put together for these first few games. We'll talk about that today with Clay Henry joining us at 12 noon. We'll get into college football and certainly some of this talk that between Kirby and Cristobal with Bill King at 1:15. And we'll get with Alyssa Orange at the bottom of this hour from the Varsity Vibe Arkansas podcast. And we'll open up the Lewis Automotive Hotline for you if you want in the next segment or any other time. 877-377-6963. Stay with us. Back right after this.
Call or text the Lewis Automotive Hotline at 877-377-6963. Lewis Automotive.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
It's a dandy white perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, sacalé.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouth.
Some serious crappie.
Nice speck.
We got crappie.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite white perch, slab, sockeye, papermouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
Once people tried Taco Bell's new Lutz value menu with 10 decadent items, all $3 or less, including the new mini taco salad, an edible bowl filled with succulent seasoned beef and dressed with a lavish chipotle crema, they started expecting everything to be as Lutz. You're wondering which is the mini taco salad for, aren't you? Taco Bell's new Lutz value menu. 10 extravagant indulgences, all $3 or less.
Lewis Automotive has been serving Northwest Arkansas for over 75 years and it's just getting started.
Our knowledgeable sales team is here to find you the perfect vehicle to fit not only your lifestyle, but also your budget.
Our factory-trained service technicians keep your vehicle running at optimal level.
And if you're looking for genuine parts and accessories, our team has exactly what you need.
Relax in our comfortable lounge. And when your car's ready, we'll return it to you spotless.
Thank you for being a part of our story.
Come see us at Lewis Automotive Group, where you're more than a customer, you're family.
Does your Razorback closet need an upgrade? The University of Arkansas Game Day Collection is what you're looking for, only at Roback.com. They've custom designed the best hoodies, polos, and Q-zips for your school. Go check out this and more at Roback.com, and don't forget to use our link for 20% off. Use code RUSH25 at checkout on Roback.com for 20% off your first order. That's RHOBACK.com. 20% off all hoodies, joggers, and more with Rush 25. Roback, where action meets comfort. Well, the game might be over, but the night usually isn't. You're still hanging out, still scrolling, still looking for something fun to do. That's usually where I end up on MyBookie. I'll go from sports straight into the casino. Same account, same balance. What I like is it never feels quiet. There's always something happening. Cash drops, tournaments, live dealers. So you're not just playing, you're part of the action. Head to mybookie.ag now and use promo code HOGS, and you'll get a 300% deposit match up to $750, which gives you plenty to play with. Game night, late night, everything in between. MyBookie's always on.
Dad, the driver looks dirty. Ew, yucky, Daddy.
Hey, don't worry, boys. That's what we do best. At My Dreams Mo Wash, we make homes, businesses, and even big industrial spaces shine like new.
So you can clean houses and big buildings?
That's right. Residential, commercial, or industrial. No job's too big or too small. Call My Dreams Mo Wash today at 479-763-5561 or visit mjmowash.com.
My Junior's Mobile Wash. One call cleans it all.
David Bowie got more fame with his #1 hit titled Fame. John Lennon co-wrote and sounded some of the high notes. The last line in the first verse sums it up. Fame puts you there where things are hollow. John 12:43 tells us that many people rejected Jesus because they loved the fame of people more than the praise of God. Is it any wonder you get more fame by rejecting the name of Jesus? I'm Pastor E from Woodland. Think about it.
Hello, this is Sebastian County Assessor Zach Johnson here to remind you to assess your personal property by May 31st to avoid late penalty. You can do this in person at one of our 3 locations, over the phone, or online by going to www.countyservice.net. I would also like to remind any current homeowners or any individuals buying their homes on contract to contact our office and check on your eligibility for the homestead tax credit. Contact us today to see if you qualify. The homestead tax credit could save you up to $600 off your tax bill.
losing the fight. It happens all the time. Turn the very whisper to the wind. Cradle ignite and burn you from within. No survives your pride.
Make sure to follow Halftime on X at Hit That Line AR and on Facebook and Instagram at Hit That Line. Call or text 877-377-6963. All guests join us on the Lewis Automotive Hotline, serving Northwest Arkansas for over 80 years. Lewis Automotive, serving drivers since 1946 and built on a tradition of trust. Let's get back to the show with Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
Matt, two people, Spruce Bruce and Pinto, both texted in on the Lewis Automotive Group hotline. How much money you got laying around? They'd like you to buy Herman's. It's up for sale.
Only if we can call it Phil's, and you want to go in with me. See, I can't do it then. Yeah.
Wait a minute. Why are you going to name it after me? And I'm not putting any money in on this.
Well, then I can't do it. I thought we were going to own a restaurant together.
Is that what this is always going to be about?
Well, I didn't know who are these people telling me to do stuff. What are they talking about?
I think they just want you to keep a basically something that they don't want to close. They keep it open somehow. Some sort of institution. You know what I mean?
There's better people than me to buy that place. That's for sure.
You never wanted to open a restaurant, never wanted to own a restaurant, and truthfully, I don't want to either. That honestly sounds like something that I'd probably have go out of business about a week after it starts. And not because the money's not coming in, because I can't handle that.
I mean, when do you think that I want to be around people? Like, how do you think that's a real thing?
Be a silent partner. You just be a silent partner.
There you go. Now you're talking a little better. But open a restaurant. Then you just said spur your head. You got to go there to get the people. You know, you got to have. You're the man of the people. You're the talk. You're the voice. People love your voice. So you got to be part of it if we want to have success.
That's fine. I mean, I'll just
you hold court after baseball games. Whenever you want to, you can do your
a radio studio.
Do your radio
Herman's?
show in Herman's. Absolutely. I mean, you're going to gain 47 pounds when you eat lunch, and actually, steak's good for you. You're not going to gain a lot of weight eating steak.
Yeah, I'm going to gain some weight today. I did one of those things. I had so much to pack. I've got 8 days on the road at least. And there's the radio equipment, there's computers, there's stats, there's, the various things that you got to take with you to keep yourself alive. And, man, I feel like I'm forgetting a lot. I felt like I was forgetting a lot of stuff, and I forgot lunch. That's the one thing I forgot. I had it in the refrigerator. I had a sandwich ready to go. I forgot it, so I asked Bubba to bring me a Sonic burger today, and that's why, Matt, I'm going to be putting on weight, because if I keep forgetting a healthy lunch here, and I'm, at 49, I'm doing what I can, I'm going to end up putting on those 57 pounds because it's going to be burger. You can only subsist on Uncrustables for so long. You know what I mean?
Well, I just hope that maybe this is the thing y'all start this year instead of the what was it? Goldblum. What's that guy's name that was in The Fly?
Jeff Goldblum.
Yeah, Jeff Goldblum. That was your thing last year. Maybe you can have a Sonic and Tails deal with you and Bubba. Sonic and Tails. Everybody remembers that game. But you start winning, he buys you a hamburger, cheeseburger, whatever.
That's what I mean.
You start winning, we're all a little stitious. Next thing you know, you're going to be eating Sonic cheeseburgers every day.
Matt, there's a reason that I transported a dead fly in a tiny little sarcophagus that our friend Charlie Liggett's wife
I like that everybody was all in for that, though. Everybody was all in. They were like,
yeah.
It's only weird if it doesn't work.
So you're right. I mean, the team's already won, 4 in a row? Yeah, 4 games in a row. So if I eat a Sonic burger today before the game, it's not going to have anything to do with
every fifth win, you'd have to eat one.
Oh, man. Every fifth win.
That's
for
okay.
A team
That's
that
only
can
7
win,
pounds you'd gain.
I hope they win something like 50, 51 games this year. So every fifth win, that'd still be a lot. I don't know if that would raise my cholesterol too much.
I'm trying to think. I had a double cheeseburger a couple weeks ago. I usually get about one a month. I try to
keep track of them.
I did. I can tell you. I could tell you the times I eat them. Yeah.
Took the kids out to dinner last night. So my one night I'll be at home in Little Rock and be able to be dad with them. So I took them to dinner last night. And of course, have I told you guys about this before? Do any of you out there have the kid that always orders the most expensive thing on the menu? And it's just that's sort of like his MO. My sister was like that. And I wasn't going to say no last night because the kid's getting straight A's. and I want to spur that along. So I've got a son who's really good at ordering, if not the most expensive thing, one of the top 3. We did that last night at one of our favorite places in Little Rock, which should never close either. That's the Faded Rose in Little Rock. If that ever is getting sold, Matt, I think I might be ready to step up and be the not-so-silent partner, just like some people want to be for Herman's.
I like it. I had chicken bone broth with some chili Thai sauce, like some chili paste, chili crisp, with some, and it had some veggie broth in it also, but it also had some dumplings. Tonight, is it turmeric or turmeric? How do you say that? It's
Is it tomato? I think you can get away either way.
I think one of them's poison and one of them's good for you, but I can't. So you gotta be careful there. But it's a jasmine rice with like a turmeric, one of those. It's the golden, and then we're gonna do like some. We usually do pork medallions, but we're gonna do turkey medallions. So yeah, man, you know me, I like to cook. So if I was to own Herman's, I'd want to be one of the chefs. Like
Master of the grill.
One of my favorite things to do in life, is to cook. Like I absolutely love. When I was 7, 8, 9 years old, going with my mom to the grocery store, I'd be reading a recipe book, trying to get something to make something that I could. I love cooking. Yeah.
And you got one of those great range. You got one of those Viking ranges. If I had one of those, I'd be cooking. I'd be traveling with that thing if I could.
It's like the hockey goalie. I'm standing on my head. I don't know what to do with that thing.
Well, I've delayed taking Brian's phone call long enough. I guess I didn't say that I'm going to pick Texas to win the national title. That must be what it was, right, Christian? That brought Brian on the Lewis Automotive Group hotline because I was talking that Kirby Smart, the look on his face, and I didn't mention anything about Steve Sarkisian and his media appearance yesterday in which he was saying some things. So I've made him hold long enough. If anybody doesn't like listening to Brian, get back with us in about 60 seconds. We'll see if we keep him on that long or if he even stuck around. Brian, do we have to talk about Texas? Is that really something we're going to do right now? Because I'm not too interested.
Well, we're not ready to talk about football, but we're sure not picking Arkansas for the national title. But I do have a comment and a question about your show yesterday, and how bad the Lady Hog basketball team is.
Shoot.
They should be fortunate because it looked like the Lady Horns were half asleep. They were bored playing third-grade talent. And, Texas did beat Mississippi State by 50 and Auburn by 61. So they kind of laid it easy on Arkansas. But I do have a comment as well.
Hey man, I mean, I've talked about the women's basketball team in so many ways. And Texas is really
girls
good.
Are awful.
That Texas team is.
The girls are awful. The Lady
really
Hillbillies of Ozark would beat them too. I mean, I'm sure the girls in Ozark would have a field day with the Lady Hogs.
Brian, if you'd like to make a point on something else instead of just insulting, instead of insulting athletes here that I'm going to be traveling with, because I'm not actually into that very much. Thank you. If it's a matter of being critical or just being. Or being a Richard. There's a big difference between those two things. So thank you very much for showing the way to be a Richard. So that's going to be your name for the rest of the time. 877-377-6963, the Lewis Automotive Group hotline. I mean, we want to be disrespectful to people. That's one thing. We're going to be honest about things. Well, that's a whole other thing. The things I was saying yesterday about women's basketball, I think are more about being honest and not ready to insult anybody over getting outplayed by better teams, but still giving all the effort that you absolutely can. So I think Richard may have made his last phone call here for a little bit. All right, so we got Alyssa Orange coming up with us in just a moment. Hope I handled that all right. I'm not. There's certain you go to a certain point about how you handle teams that are not playing well or that are going through something that, and there was somebody that made a call yesterday about the women's team, and they said that Kelsey deserves some credit for keeping them together. And I think you might look at the idea of a team that's lost 15 straight and think, well, are they really together? Well, I can tell you this, and this isn't to defend the record of the team or anything other than the idea that if you're around them as much as I am, and I'm not around them for every practice, and sometimes I have to miss shoot around in order to do the radio show, but this is a team that still I think they fully appreciate what could be coming in a few weeks. Any team that finishes either with no wins in conference or one win in conference or whatever it is, there's a finish line that you know you're coming to and that you're never going to be together again. And there's a very good chance that many of these players disperse to end up somewhere else. Some of them may stay. It's not going to be the same team next year. They still, at the same time, and I've been around teams that really are not good, and I've been around teams that aren't good and don't like each other, and it's a miserable experience. That's not what I'm seeing with this team. And it's not to say, look, we should celebrate that they like each other and that they're enjoying, the time that they spend with each other and that they're friends and everything, but their spirit has not been broken. I think is the best way to put it. I'm on the football broadcast doing the football pregame show and stuff. I'm not around that team, so I don't know what their spirit was like. When you come to the end of a 2-10 season, we're coming to the end of a season where they haven't won a game since December 19th, and yet they still, no matter what happens at the start of the game when the ball tips up, Matt, they still play with spirit. And in the pregame leading up to it, there is spirit there. And there have been some other teams at Arkansas where they haven't had that spirit. You've known, you've seen it. This team hates each other. That's not what this team is like. And they don't deserve to be insulted like Richard just insulted them.
Well, I go back to one of everybody's favorite Doug Gottlieb quotes. I can't argue basketball with somebody who can't make a left-handed layup. When you say something that's just, it's so outrageous, like the high school team can't beat the college. Like, you lose me. You when you say something dumb, it's like, oh, okay. It's like you saw what Arkansas State and Arkansas happened, right? We saw Arkansas and Arkansas State. We call it a jamboree. We couldn't win a single game all year, and we beat Arkansas State by 50. It's the high school team can't beat the college girls team.
I also think it's just incredibly rich coming from somebody that is from the state of Arkansas that publicly on this show, whenever it was that he made the call and admitted that he gave up on Arkansas because the football program had taken such a crater, and it was his choice to be a bandwagoneer and go with the behemoth next door in Austin. I mean, I've said it publicly, and I've told him too on the text line and on phone calls. He is absolutely the single worst kind of sports fan that there is. Pregnant pause for a reason. Alyssa Orange coming up after this.
What are you people? On dope?
This is halftime.
Superstars Joe Klein and Pat Bradley for Arkansas's #1 sports app, Bet Saracen.
Joe, you know the main difference between Bet Saracen and those other guys?
Definitely. Easier to navigate. Always good parlays. Plus lots of fun choices. Like ping pong. Right there on the app.
But the real difference are those special promos.
Get $250 on us with your first $25 wager.
Gambling problem? Call 800-GAMBLER.
Ready to order?
Yes. We're earning unlimited 3% cash back on dining and entertainment with the Capital One Saver Card. So let's just get one of everything.
Everything?
Fire everything. The Capital One Saver Card is at table 27, and they're earning unlimited 3% cash back.
Yes, sir. This is so nice.
Had a feeling you'd want 3% cash back on dessert.
Ooh, tiramisu.
Earn unlimited 3% cash back on dining and entertainment with the Capital One Saver Card. Capital One, what's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com for details.
You're listening to Halftime Live from the Crabtree RV Center studios. Crabtree RV Center, where RVing is life.
Winter has arrived, bringing frosty mornings, holiday travels, and unpredictable roads. That's why it's the perfect time to visit Southern Tire Mart. From top quality tires to expert service at competitive prices, we've got you covered. Visit our Fort Smith location at 9700 Highway 271 and let us prepare your vehicle for everything winter has in store. Southern Tire Mart is a proud dealer of Yokohama tires. We keep America rolling.
Selling your home doesn't have to be stressful, not when you work with Tara Lindbergh and the Lindbergh Real Estate Group. With over $1 billion in real estate sold, Tara's team knows how to make the process simple, successful, and even enjoyable. They can provide you with a cash offer in 72 hours, or you can use Tara's high-octane marketing and sell your home for thousands over asking. When it's time to buy or sell, trust a team that delivers results. Go to LimbirdTeam.com. LIMBIRD.
Here's NASCAR Hall of Famer Mark Martin.
As a race car driver for 40 years, I survived a lot of crashes. Not everyone can run into a wall at 200 miles an hour and walk away. Without a seatbelt, I wouldn't be alive today. Now I'm retired, back home in Arkansas driving my pickup. I'm shocked how many people aren't wearing seatbelts. Why risk your life when it only takes 2 seconds to buckle up? Take it from number 6. Buckle up, Arkansas.
A message from the Arkansas State Police Highway Safety Office.
This is Daryl Johnston with Hashtag Managed IT Services. We are excited to now be part of AAA Business Systems. Hashtag will continue to handle every IT need your business will have, and now, as part of AAA Business Systems, we can handle all of your document printing and storage solutions. Together, we have the expertise to meet all of your office technology needs. Find us online at aaabm.com or call us at 471-1771.
Matching down payments up to $2,000 at Harry Robinson Salisaw Ford, 1 mile south of exit 308 off I-40 in Salisaw. This isn't on a select few vehicles or only these ones parked over here. Troy, this is every new Ford and every pre-owned on the lot.
Yes, this is every unit that we have on the lot. We're going to match your down payment up to $2,000. It doesn't matter what you buy. Heck, we've got a tractor back there. If you want to buy the tractor, we'll match your down payment up to $2,000. Right now really is the time to buy. Get down here to Harry Robinson Salisaw Ford.
And now's the time for a brand new Ford because you're aggressively pricing and aggressively moving the 2025 inventory.
Definitely. You know, we've already got that heavily discounted inventory that's out there. You know, our loss is your gain. You know, you get the discount and we're going to match your down payment up to $2,000. So come and see us. It really is the time to buy at Harry Robinson Salisaw Ford.
Matching down payments up to $2,000. Harry Robinson Salisaw Ford, 1 mile south of exit 308 off I-40 in Salisaw. Online at harryrobinson.com.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game.
ESPN 95.3.
You and your museum of love, the precious collection you've housed in your covers, my simpleness threatened by my mission. And the bags are much too heavy in my insecure condition. My pregnant mind is faithful with envy again.
You're listening to Halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones. Want to jump in the conversation? Call or text 877-377-6963. All guests join us on the Lewis Automotive Hotline. Lewis Automotive, serving drivers since 1946 and built on a tradition of trust. Let's get back to the show with Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
Alyssa Orange joining us from Varsity Vibe, Sports Director, Varsity Vibe, Arkansas. She's on our Lewis Automotive Group hotline here on a Tuesday morning, a game day as well, Alyssa. Did you make it out to Baum last weekend? I know, you do all the sports, but I know you're a baseball fan. I think that might be first and foremost.
I am. I think everybody knows that. We've made that pretty clear here, guys. But I did not get out to Baum. I had the kids last week, and Bella was a little under the weather, and it didn't work out with our schedule. I had even considered, it's funny, I know Arkansas fans will get a kick out of this. So Florida State was in Arlington at Globe Life this past weekend, and I'd considered driving down there to go watch them, and then to see the FSU Twitter complain about the Flow Sports and be like, oh my gosh, we got to pay for something out. Like, this is ridiculous. Why doesn't ESPN cover this? And I'm like, welcome to the world of a Razorback baseball fan.
Yeah, that's true. And you realize, though, how many of these games, how many college baseball games are, I won't say aired because they're all streamed. And, I think you'll probably deal with this next weekend because I don't think the Saturday game is going to be televised. So there's so many other sports going on campus at the same time: gymnastics, basketball, women's basketball, softball, that kind of everything. And conference games are going to get, pardon me, are going to be prioritized, and they'll be playing Texas Arlington. So you end up watching some of these college baseball broadcasts. Like seriously, some of them are single camera broadcasts, and I think it's got to feel like I've watched a little bit of it. It was like watching black and white games in the 1950s, like the game of the week. It was just the single high camera from up on high, and that's how some people watch college baseball now, Alyssa. It's like it's a weird way to watch it.
Hey, it's better. Yeah, it is. But it's an option. Hey, but it's also an excuse to listen to you and Bubba on the radio.
Oh, of course. That's exactly right.
Right. I think you do that on purpose. I'm just kidding.
Do you? There's baseball season is coming up here in Arkansas. I never know when opening day for high school baseball is, but I know the teams are practicing soon. I know soccer is starting up soon. My daughter's made the Little Rock Central soccer team, so they've got I think she didn't realize the term is friendly. They've got a friendly against Rogers Heritage on Friday, so got some of these other spring sports are now starting, right?
Yeah, they are. Well, congratulations to her. That's exciting. And they start right around the corner. I believe the first week in March is when things kind of get going, and baseball, softball, big-time sports around the state, specifically up here, and I think down in East Arkansas, truly, and Southwest Arkansas, it's got some good softball for sure. But it's been a lot of fun to talk to these coaches, getting ready to go over to Rogers in a few weeks because they won the 6A state championship over Fayetteville last year, and got to spend some time with Coach Kent Early over at Bentonville, who won their 7th state championship under him last year. And, man, he has just got a really cool story because he comes from a family of coaches. His dad, a longtime coach at University of Arkansas Monticello, and, his brother Brian Early is a defensive coach at Missouri. His other brother, Preston, is a baseball coach. And so it's really cool to kind of hear their family talk about what it is to be coaching. But that time of the year is right around the corner, but we've got postseason basketball to get through, and it is a crazy final week of the regular season this week.
So tell me kind of what if it's crazy, what are some of the races that are coming down to the very end here?
Well, right now tonight, I mean, the biggest game, and it's funny, we talked about this game last week because it was a reschedule from the snow, but Bentonville, North Little Rock, and Bryant and North Little Rock, went to Bryant and got the win. Well, they'll play again tonight, a week later, and that is a number 1, number 2 battle for the girls and the boys. And so that'll be a fun one at North Little Rock. And then Bentonville West up here really setting themselves up nicely last week with a win over, at the time, number 1 in the West in Fayetteville. And then they went and they beat Bentonville with a buzzer beater by Landon Price on Friday. And they've got sole possession of 3rd place. And then really on the girls' side, you want to talk about 2 powerhouses. You have Harbor, who's undefeated, facing Northside, whose only loss is to Harbor earlier in the year. And that was a game, again, rescheduled from the snow. They had to play at 11 a.m. It might have been more in the afternoon, but on a Saturday to make that game up. So a lot of things in play as those teams kind of figure out the regular season and go into the state tournament. And then other teams around the state have already kind of started their district and regional tournaments. And all of it, of course, going to Hot Springs in a few weeks to crown some state championships.
I don't know if you saw Ethan Westerman's story in Whole Hog about J.J. Andrews and Whitley Rogers.
Yeah.
I don't know about high school relationships. I don't know who's dating who, but this comes to light.
Was that news to you?
This was news to me. So
News
it's like,
to you.
I feel like last week, and I've asked a couple times too, because if Whitley's sister, Destiny, ends up getting a bigger coaching job than Arkansas State, maybe.
Sure. Well, you asked me that question.
I know.
Yeah, and I'm not.
Now I don't really think
that
that'll happen.
I couldn't. No, I know, but I couldn't say on the radio. Well, the thing is, her boyfriend is going to Arkansas. I didn't want to put her business out there, but that was in my head. I was like, well, yeah, her sister might get another job, but the boyfriend's going to Arkansas. So I don't know if that's going to change. I didn't want to put her business out there, but now that Ethan wrote about it, I guess it's now public knowledge.
It's right there. I mean, it's like 11 basketball things. So Yes, I guess
There
I
you
don't
go.
feel,
You
I
gotta
guess I don't
love
feel
that, though.
nervous that she.
I wonder
that she'd be good.
who wins in like a game of horse between the two of them. What do you think? I bet Whitley wins.
One-on-one, I mean, you'd have to go with the guy normally.
Well, I couldn't do one-on-one. You'd have to play like horse.
But if it's
like,
horse,
there's no way.
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't seen enough of. I haven't seen enough competition of them, or any in some cases, to really be able to offer an opinion.
Whitley's got range, and I would give her the edge, and I think JJ would be okay with that.
No athletic moves allowed though, so you got to put a disqualify in there.
Right,
No off the
right.
backboard
I mean, like,
dunks. Yeah.
Yeah, you can't dunk. You're not blocking shots on your girlfriend. It's pure just shooting.
Are we using a guy's ball or a girl's ball? Not like it would matter.
You'd both use your own. You'd both have your own.
Yeah,
Hey,
there you
get
go.
Get
See?
this. I wonder if you've ever seen this before too. And Matt, I don't know how many.
Because I played that game with my sisters.
Yeah.
And they, you know what, Alyssa, they would beat me most of the time at horse.
Yeah, my son beats me all the time, and he's 8, so
I love it.
you know there's
you
that.
you could beat me at horse just shooting the ball off your head, man. You wouldn't have any problems with that. I saw. So this was crazy. I don't know if I brought this up on the show. If you guys ever seen this before, it was the Ole Miss women's basketball game a couple of weeks ago, just before the baseball team opened the season. So that would have been February 12th, and 4 minutes into the game, the officials bring over the basketball and they start looking over it over at the scorer's table, and they switch it out for another ball. And we're like, what just happened here? Come to realize, as we go into the second quarter, we had played with a men's ball for the first 5 minutes of that game.
Really?
Yes.
How does that happen?
I don't know. I really don't know, because an official, like, I don't hold a basketball all that often, but you can tell the difference between a men's ball and a women's ball easily. Just like I could hold a college baseball and a Major League Baseball and be able to tell the difference just because of the seams. That blew me away. That we played
crazy.
5 minutes of a women's game with a men's game. Not like it mattered all that much. It was just kind of, I don't know, it was funny. And I had not seen that before.
Yeah, you did. Yeah, you did
you
that.
did.
Yeah, I've never seen that. And what's a men's ball just accidentally got put on the rack, I guess. But still, when you start a game, you'd think you'd notice that. That's crazy.
Why not get a
Add that one
softball?
to your bingo list of bingo card of 2026.
What are the chances that first pitch today is thrown with a softball instead of a baseball?
I'm going to go with 0 because
Yeah,
they're
I'd say
bright
0%
yellow.
because it's neon. It's neon yellow. That's right.
Yes. There's no way. There's
Alyssa,
no way that happens ever.
Let's leave it there. Always appreciate your time. Thanks so
Guys,
much.
thank you. You too. Have a good week.
It's Alyssa Orange, Sports Director, Varsity Vibe Arkansas. Go to varsityvibearkansas.com. You can download their podcast anywhere that you get your podcasts. North Arkansas Regional Medical Center serves 5 counties. Totals 95,000 people in north central Arkansas, 18 clinics, including 3 rural clinics. I want to tell you about the Claude Parish Cancer Center. It's where they specialize in providing comprehensive cancer care services. The Radiation Oncology Department performs over 7,500 procedures every year. The Medical Oncology Department performs over 5,000 procedures every year. They're the most sought-after option for cancer care in northern Arkansas. More information about North Arkansas Regional Medical Center at narmc.com. And we're back to wrap up hour number 1 of halftime right after this.
It comes down to making out. Whenever possible, put on side 1 of Led Zeppelin 4.
This is halftime.
Stay warm and dry this winter with Byrne and Carhartt winter workwear. Muck, dry shod, and extra tough rubber footwear to keep those toes dry. Winter clearance racks are full of casual and hunting clothing at 50% off. A select group of Western boots now 50% off. Crappie season is coming and fishing gear is arriving daily. Gelco Outdoors. Work, hunt, fish. That's what we do. Gelco Outdoors. 4600 South Zero in Fort Smith.
Hello, this is Sebastian County Assessor Zach Johnson here to remind you to assess your personal property by May 31st to avoid late penalty. You can do this in person at one of our 3 locations, over the phone, or online by going to www.countyservice.net. I would also like to remind any current homeowners or any individuals buying their homes on contract to contact our office and check on your eligibility for the homestead tax credit. Contact us today to see if you qualify. The homestead tax credit could save you up to $600 off your tax bill.
This ad sponsored by the Sebastian County Assessor and paid for by Amendment 79.
Save up to $4,000 on select Buick Enclaves at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. That's $4,000 off and 4.9% financing for up to 84 months on this luxurious third-row SUV. Or drive the brand-new Buick Envista, a stylish crossover, for as low as $399 per month. These are limited-time offers. Experience the new Buick at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith. Or online at harryrobinson.com.
My name is Ken Blevins, and I'm running for Sebastian County Judge in the March 3rd Republican primary. I want to return common sense, integrity, and leadership to our county. Sebastian County needs a county judge that it can trust. It needs public officials that are elected by the people, accountable to the people, and able to win fair elections. Let's stop the good old boy system and backroom deals. It's that simple. Thanks for your confidence in me.
This ad paid for by the campaign to elect Ken Blevins.
Arkansas Fuel Injection in Fort Smith has been providing quality work for all new and rebuilt diesel pumps and injectors for over 25 years. They are a certified diesel shop with a team of quality technicians that ensure the highest quality workmanship and warranties all their work. They're open Monday through Friday 8 to 5 and has emergency service available 24 hours a day. For all your diesel pump, fuel injection, and parts needs, stop by Arkansas Fuel Injection, 6300 South 29th Street, Fort Smith. Call them today at 1-800-817-7709. Arkansas Fuel Injection.
When you need tough and paint just isn't enough, check out River City Coatings in Van Buren. When it comes to your metals, paint can peel and crack over time. Whether it's your patio furniture, rims or trims on your automobile, or heavy equipment, no one has time for a redo. Powder coating provides the toughness you need. Preserve your investment with powder coating from River City Coatings. River City Coatings, certified John Deere, Caterpillar, ISO 9001, Packer, and UL provider of tough. River City Coatings, 471-7675 or online at rivercitycoatings.com.
Colorworks Paint and Body in Barling offers professional automotive painting, bodywork, and fabrication that is unsurpassed in talent and dedication. Owner Andy Herod uses the latest in collision repair technology to ensure all damage is addressed, whether it's visible or hidden, and works with all insurance companies. Andy and his crew have the experience and commitment to give you complete trust in the repair of your vehicle, no matter the size of the job. Colorworks is located at 1206 4th Street in Barling, across from Dollar General, and is on Facebook, where you can check out their work.
This is Daryl Johnston with Hashtag Managed IT Services. We are excited to now be part of AAA Business Systems. Hashtag will continue to handle every IT need your business will have, and now, as part of AAA Business Systems, we can handle all of your document printing and storage solutions. Together, we have the expertise to meet all of your office technology needs. Find us online at aaabm.com or call us at 471-1771.
Call or text the Lewis Automotive Hotline at 877-377-6963. Lewis Automotive, serving drivers since 1946 and built on a tradition of trust.
I'm closing all the curtains. Just even bother. Underneath the cover. With this train, you roll over again.
Welcome back to Halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones. Got a question or comment for the guys? Call or text 877-377-6963. All guests join us on the Lewis Automotive Hotline, serving Northwest Arkansas for over 80 years. Lewis Automotive, serving drivers since 1946 and built on a tradition of trust. Now let's get back to halftime with the voice of Arkansas Razorback baseball, Phil Elson, and Arkansas football legend Matt Jones.
Matt, you'd be able to tell immediately if somebody handed you an NFL football and told you this is a college football.
I think Tom Brady would even be able to tell immediately.
Yeah, I think he would too. Lane in Cave City is on the Lewis Automotive Group hotline. Lane, what's up?
Hey, guys, I hope y'all's doing okay today.
Yeah, great. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Hey, I just want to ask two quick questions, then I'll jump off here and listen to y'all's answer.
Okay.
the first question is I was just curious, do we think we'll see the local boy from over in my area, Grant Wren, get to pitch any this year, or will he be held to next year? And then the second question is on the girls basketball team. Does the state of Arkansas, talent-wise in high school girls basketball, are we kind of lagging behind some of the other states and don't have quite the in-state talent to help our team get to a more competitive level? And that's all I was wondering. Guys, I really enjoy the show. Have a good day.
Man, I don't know if women's basketball or girls basketball in high school is quite the same level that boys is in terms of high-end talent, because there's been some real high-end talent and some that's on the way in boys. But I do know there's some high-end talent in this state. And Arkansas is working on Easton McCullough, and they've got Whitley Rogers signed. There are others, too, that I think Arkansas, when you say sustain a program, you know, I mean, it's you're still going to have to bring players in from elsewhere. And I think Matt, like Kelsey's area is Oklahoma, and we've got Oklahoma's Gatorade Player of the Year, Kaya Prestridge, who signed for next season coming in here, and you got Whitley Rogers, who's winning the award as well. So, I mean, there looks like there could be an influx of talent. I think there's enough girls' talent in this state that if you're just recruiting the state, maybe you'd be all right, but you still got to look outside.
Got to have a fence up around the state, but you got to have resources, and that's what I keep hearing is if you're not given the same, it doesn't even have to be the equal playing field, but it's got to be similar. You know, it's got to be close. It's got to be in the same ballpark. They're not even playing the same sport, man. It's just they I don't know if they don't care or where it is on how they're going to invest money into it, but there's plenty of women's talent in. I mean, Coach Ricky Smith, who's won multiple state championships at Northside's had 50 different girls go off and play college basketball. You know, that's just one school in Arkansas since he's been there.
Yeah, I mean, I know other players that have ended up at Tennessee or at UConn, but Arkansas a few times has gotten a Gatorade Player of the Year from the state as well. Just hadn't necessarily worked out to where.
Yeah, who's the girl that was from Northside?
Jersey Wolf.
Yeah, I loved her, and she just never worked out. Yeah,
she's been riding the bench for Tennessee this year. You know, and I think you know expected that Jenna Lawrence would. Because there were signs in non-conference that she was kind of on her way, but it kind of just hadn't worked out, not in conference play. As far as Grant Wren is concerned, freshman pitcher from Melbourne, we haven't seen him yet. And if he doesn't pitch either of these next 2 days, because this is the first 5-game week, then this is about pitching depth. And if he doesn't pitch these next 2 days, I don't know if you see him. But I'm not quite sure about that. Appreciate your call, Lane. Clay Henry joining halftime into our second hour, and we are right back.
Attention Lions, your Wednesday nights just got a massive upgrade. This is Brooklyn from Papa's Pub. Starting this Wednesday, Papa's Pub and Pizzeria in downtown Fort Smith is launching UFIS Night. Studying hard? Take a break. Hungry? We've got you covered. Just show your valid UFIS student ID and get 20% off your entire food order. Gather your roommates and head to Papa's Pub this Wednesday. Great food shouldn't break the student budget. Papa's Pub and Pizzeria, 508 Garrison Ave in downtown Fort Smith. The best darn pizza in Fort Smith, perhaps the world.
They say consistency is the key to success. They weren't wrong. So how about grabbing a beer that's consistently smooth, consistently refreshing, and consistently light? You might just find that the road to success can be pretty enjoyable. Michelob Ultra, the perfect balance of taste and refreshment, and only 2.6 carbs and 95 calories. It's only worth it if you enjoy it. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Looking for a fence that stands out and stands strong? Call the Fence Man, 479-782-3936. Serving the Fort Smith area for over 40 years, the Fence Man builds custom, one-of-a-kind fences, residential, commercial, and high security. Need automatic gates? The Fence Man does it. Need financing? You got it. 18-month financing is available. Get your free quote today at thefencemanar.com. or call 479-782-3936. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work.
This is Bruce Stanton, Vice President and General Manager of Pradco Fishing in Fort Smith. If you're going to do some cold water bass fishing, you need to be using an Umbrella Flash Mob Jr. It's the best lure for duplicating a small school of shad and can be worked from the top of the water column to the bottom. Whether you're trying to win a bass tournament or whoop up on a bunch of white bass and stripers, the Umbrella Flash Mob Jr. will catch them. Available at Walmart, Bass Pro Shops, Academy, LureNet.com, and tackle stores all over the place. The Umbrella Flash Mob Jr.
Dozy Place has been serving award-winning steaks for over 20 years, and now they're offering smoked prime rib on the weekends. It's a limited supply, so get your reservations in early. Try one of their delicious appetizers or your choice of drinks from the area's largest selection of wine, beer, and liquor. Dozy Place open Tuesday through Thursday 5 to 9 and Friday and Saturday 5 till 10. Reservations are recommended. Follow them on Facebook for more upcoming features and events. Call 479-784-9111 for Dozy Place, 422 North 3rd Street in Fort Smith.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
For today, lots of sunshine. Our high temperatures this afternoon will be into the lower 60s. We will see cloudy to partly cloudy skies tonight. And overnight low will drop down into the mid-40s. Wednesday, just a little sunshine through the clouds at times. Highs in the upper 60s to low 70s. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
The weather is brought to you by Forest Grant Incorporated, committed to setting the standard of excellence since 1936. KERX Paris Fort Smith. This is Halftime, coming at you from the Crabtree RV Studios on ESPN 95.3. Broadcasting on ESPN Arkansas and streaming on hitthatline.com.
We got a good one tonight. You got a team in here that can respect it.
Live from the Busch Lights Studio.
Don't ask me if I'm all right. Why can't they dominate? And we not doing it.
We're going to go get one and celebrate on somebody else's field.
Yeah.
Both said you had very motivational words at halftime.
It's Halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
From the bottom of my toes to the top of my head. What's my heart, dog? Let's go, man.
I have zero respect for saying no moss at halftime.
That ain't but one Razorback.
It's vintage Matt Jones. The Cinderella story is over, man. Let's go.
Call or text 877-377-6963. Now, here's Phil Olson and Matt Jones.
That's right. Welcome back to halftime. I'm sorry I'm laughing as we come back into the second hour. It is 12:01. I just had to double check, and I had to collect my breath there for a moment. I'm Phil Elson. We've got Hall of Famer Clay Henry coming on in a moment here. Matt Jones in studio along with Christian Johnston. Did you hear that, Matt? Did you hear Clay when he came on?
That was it would be just the way it sounded like I'm here, but it was just in a different way. You know?
Yeah, it was announcing yourself with authority.
Exactly.
That's exactly what it was. Clay, good to hear from you.
Like a Trevion Brazil putback dunk.
Yeah, it was the putback dunk of Belches. That's right.
I could have done that before I turned on the Comrex. I'm sorry. It just kind of came. I'm sorry. Just before I came in, I was like, I need a little caffeine, so I killed the last 4 ounces of a Coca-Cola.
Oh, nothing gets a good belch going like.
And then it was like
the last.
I couldn't help it. I'm sorry.
It can't be a swig. Was that a chug? Because that belch sounded like a chug.
Yeah, it was like the last. I don't know. It was a good 3 or 4 ounces of it. Finished it off. I mean, but I'm ready now.
You definitely are ready.
Is coursing through my body.
That's right. You got the sugar. You got the caffeine.
That's it.
And you got rid of the air that wasn't going to be part of your words.
So, I mean, you're a caffeine guy too, aren't you, Phil? I mean,
it depends on. Yeah, I'm going to need some later as we go throughout this day. This is a long radio day, just like tomorrow. No complaints, but I think I'm on from like 11 until about probably 7 o'clock tonight. So yeah, I'll need some caffeine. I left the coffee in the car.
Oh, yeah. Have you ever watched Chuck Barrett just before? Yeah, I'm sure you have. Just before he goes on the air for a football or basketball broadcast.
Sure.
I mean, it's like 3 cups of coffee, and it's like 8 sweet and lows. I mean, he loads them up.
And then Diet Coke during the game.
and he has a Diet Coke during the game. But
Unless it's cold outside, then there could be. It's tough to do coffee and play-by-play for a quick sport. You can do it for baseball. For football, I think that could be, hot liquid in your mouth is a little bit more difficult to be able to.
Well, it might be 30 minutes before, but I mean, he's
Yes.
definitely caffeinated before he goes on the air.
Oh, the worst one for me was when my kids were young, and you just made me think of my kids because the last belch I heard that loud came from my 13-year-old son, and it also was right in my right ear.
He was proud of it too, wasn't he?
Yes, I think you might have been. You might have been.
He was like, Gabe was like, "Here we go, Dad."
Oh man, that's exactly right. Well, it's good to have you here today, Clay.
I'm glad to be here.
Yeah, got baseball at 3:00. I got some numbers on. I know you don't really like to say you got a favorite player, but I think you do, and I think you even admitted it last year about Camden Kojal. I got some numbers.
I've only written about 4 columns about him.
I know,
so.
I know, and there's going to be more this year just because of how there's 2 players that this team revolves around. It's Ryder Helfrich and Camden Kojal. It's the 2 of them, and I feel like this is a team that I think Camden is more of a vocal leader and a watch how I'd play, and I'll lead that way too. Helfrich is a little bit quieter, but I love the fact of having 2 of your best players that are playing up the middle, that are also, they play the game the right way. They're great teammates. And for a while, I thought this was going to be Ryder's team. It isn't. It's his and Kojal's team together.
You watch Cam, and he's not, when an inning is over, he doesn't run to the dugout. He runs to the line, to the foul line, and makes sure and kind of, what do you call it, dap every player as they come off the field. I mean, and he's going to do that. And I remember the first time I noticed it, it was waiting on Davalon, who's coming from left field. And Davalon, it's like they would get about 30 yards apart, and then I was like, y'all wait till you're there before you dap. And Cam's got his hand out, Davalon's got his hand out, and then they finally, it's like boom, they dap, and then they go into the dugout together. But I mean, he's gonna dap up the whole team before they get off the field.
He's an emotional leader. There's some people that know how to lead, and then there's a lot of people that think they know how to lead and they don't know how. He's somebody who knows how to lead.
Yeah, he leads them to the bass pond. I mean, he's got.
You remember? So he came from Vanderbilt. That's where he was before. And
Correct.
Like there really aren't. Corbs has a great program. They play the game the right way. They're just showy about it. And Arkansas plays the game the right way and is not showy about it. It's like you really couldn't find, other than maybe Ole Miss, a team that is so outward. Is the term that I've always brought up is eyewash, and that's what Camden came from. I feel like they just want to look like good teammates for the sake of looking like good teammates sometimes. It's showy for the fans every once in a while. I'm sure they're great teammates too. It's just they always want it to be on display. And Cam is a great teammate, and I'm not saying that he's showy about it, because the thing that annoys me is when you get pitchers jumping over the dugout railing and graduate managers that are forming the handshake line and all of that. If it's your second baseman that's doing it, I think that's fine because he's coming off the field with the pitcher. But he brought a little bit of that. I feel like Corbs at Vanderbilt makes a point of these guys congratulating each other for whatever it is they accomplish. And I think Kojal's like that too, Clay.
I was speaking of, I'm not a big fan of Corbin. I mean, I've seen him go out of his way not to do interviews and to, everybody says he's a sore loser, and I get it. Nobody likes to lose, but it's Cam told me after they beat Tennessee to go to the College World Series. Cam shoved it right up their butt in Vanderbilt. I mean, that was kind of Cam's coming out party, wouldn't you agree, Phil?
Absolutely.
I don't know if he hit 3 or 4 home runs, drove in like 12 runs. I mean, it was incredible. And, I think the coaches were a little nervous when they went there, thinking that, maybe Cam would be trying to do too much. And And it was just the opposite. I mean, he settled in and, was laser focused. And, he just smoked them. 3-game. It's as good a 3-game series as any Arkansas players ever had on the road. And to do that in that setting of, where he used to play, and he made eye contact with those players when he's going around the bases on those home runs. It was incredible to watch. You're watching it on TV, you get a better look at that than say maybe, well, you've got TV in the booth, don't you, Phil? So
Sure.
you can see that. But when that was all over and Arkansas's headed to the College World Series, Corbin texted Cam to congratulate him, and it kind of changed my thought on Corbin right there. I was pleased to hear that from Cam.
I like that. Yeah. Well, and it's also the way that when he came over here, he had to learn a new position and play first base just to get his bat in the lineup, and he didn't complain about it. He just learned to play first base.
Oh, I don't think he cares.
No, I think he just wanted his bat in the lineup. The thing I wonder about him, and again, this has nothing to do with this year's team or Cam this year, because I wonder about him as a pro prospect. The guy can flat out hit. But remember last year, Dave, and I think even Norm had said something about making him a catcher in the pros. And I still wonder about what his position is moving forward. I like him at second base. It's just second basemen don't, get drafted all that high normally. And if you're a catcher, if you learn how to catch, I kind of wonder about that position for him because he does have that body type. I just don't think he's caught before.
No, he hasn't, and he's ready to do it. He and I have talked about that maybe 2 or 3 times, and I've talked to Norm about it. And, Norm has a relationship with the Rockies. I don't think he's a scout for the Rockies anymore, but he was for a long time, and still knows those people. He told me that he's been right up front with the Rockies, draft him as a catcher, and you got time in the minor leagues. He's left-handed, which that's a plus for a catcher. Just like
to be a
with
left-handed
Pags.
hitter, absolutely.
Yeah, left-handed, not thrower, but he's a left-handed hitter. That that gives you an advantage. There are not very many left-handed hitters that catch, and he's got some pop. I don't know who's going to lead him in home runs. It probably will be Kahio Aloy, but Ryder Helfrich and Cam are going to be right there with him, I think. You never know how teams are going to pitch to guys, but it looks like they're pitching away to Cam, and he's just riding it out to right field. Now, he can hit it off the scoreboard, too. But, yeah, that guy's, he's special to me. I just have to be up front because you already know that I feel that way. Might as well admit it.
If he goes the other way, today, today is a day for left-handed hitters to go the other way and right-handed hitters to pull the ball to left center so that the ball goes out in the left field corner. The sort of wind I'm watching right now, I just saw it's coming right to left.
Yep.
I just saw the wind pull up one of the trash bags out of the trash, those cardboard trash cans out there in the hog pen, literally sucked one of those trash bags up into the sky and blew it all the way out over the Razorback Foundation building. That's the kind of day you got. It's going to be an interesting day, and I know that the Xavier players had a lot of trouble with pop-ups. I'm sure Arkansas State has practiced outside, so because you're going to need to have practiced outside to catch the pop-ups today.
It's if you're a left-handed hitter and you'll play oppo ball. Heston Kerstadt was really good at that. He just take it the other way. People pitched him away, and that's what made him such a dangerous hitter. Benintendi was the same way. He hit a lot. He pulled it, but he hit a lot of home runs that way. And I think that's what made Zach Cox such a dynamic hitter during his time at Arkansas, is that he would go opposite field. I put Cam as far as personality, character, same kind of guy as, say, a James McCann, who everybody knows I'm close to James. I still, I'll text him and he hollers back at me. It's kind of cool. And I've gone to see James play. I've made summer road trips where I knew that somewhere along that path it was going to be to see James play, and he'd leave tickets for me and my wife.
Is he with the D-backs again this year?
Yeah, they signed him. I think it was like for $1.8 million, and they had 2 catchers on their roster, and They put one of them in the minor leagues. I mean, this is what happens with James. The pitching staff demands that he's on the roster. I mean, he is such a good receiver. He's so good with, the mental part of preparing for a game with the pitcher that's going to be in the game that day, the starting pitchers. They love him. And he hit last year, 270, 280, which is above his career numbers with Arizona. So I pull for him like crazy. I don't know whether Cam's going to be a major leaguer, but he's going to get drafted and he's going to get his chance in the minor leagues. And, hey, we know this: if you can hit, they'll find a place for you.
And if you can play multiple positions, it's going to help out.
And he doesn't care. The first time he played first base last year, he had one round of infield practice, I'll never forget him telling me. He said, "I got a little coaching today before I went to first base," and I was like, "You did? Like Bobby Wernes help you?" He's like, Clay Goodwin's son,
right?
And it's a true story.
It is. He might have played some first base in his short
fourth grade leagues. Yeah, just showed him some positioning on first base, and he figured it out pretty quick. And the thing about it is he can field the position. He's a shortstop by trade,
right?
But he doesn't
shortstops.
Quite have the arm of the other shortstops on the roster.
Yeah, and it makes you wonder also, do you have the arm to be the catcher?
You're right. That's exactly it. But if he can hit, but that he'll be a thinker's catcher. He knows the game, and that's what Dave Van Horn keeps saying. If you ask Dave, what do you think about Cam, and he's like, he's a ball player.
That's the best compliment you get
from him, especially,
or from anybody in baseball. Here's Charlie the Tuna. Speaking of,
it must be 12:15.
I was going to call you a ball player, Charlie, but I think I'm just going to call you a caller, because that would be the right thing to do for somebody that calls our show so often. Just like a baseball player would like to be called a ball player. Charlie, you're a caller, man.
He's in our inner circle.
I might be a caller, but I will always be a baller, as they say.
Oh, boy. You're welcome for setting you up like that.
Hey, look, Phil, I'm gonna take it and run with it. You know that. I'm gonna hit a home run when you set me up like that, man. Now it may not be the home run you like, but I'm gonna hit one. No, look, guys.
That was a foul ball over the screen.
Okay, yeah. And what's the name of that pole back there? Yeah.
Find out later at 3:00.
No, yeah, you and Bubba. That is like the coolest thing when y'all go at it about that. I love it. But anyways, I'm gonna let you hang up on me today, Phil, because what I mean is you always get on me at the end because you say I didn't mean for him to hang up right there, so I'm just gonna let you do that. I'm gonna talk here for a little bit.
Have a big old belt and see if he keeps you on the line.
Oh, he's hung up on me before, which I needed it that one time.
Charlie hasn't burped on the phone yet.
Charlie, in Globe Life Field, they had advertising on the foul pole. I shouldn't say foul pole because one of them said the fair pole, and it was FARE, and it was a sponsorship from Chick-fil-A.
Okay. Yeah,
it's actually correct is when they use it as a joke. Go figure.
Well, it was
right? Phil hated that one. No, guys, I think with every year, you had talked about it, Phil, with Ryder, thought he might, this might kind of be his team. I think he is arguably the most important player on this team, but I think every year with Dave's teams, you see this. There's just multiple guys usually that you can just be like, that's my favorite guy there. That's my favorite guy. I'm not disagreeing with you guys. I love Cam Cosmo, but there's something about the Alloy brothers. There's something about Vahiva. The last 2 years he was here, and I love his brother. Now, Phil, his brother, is he a little bit more vocal, or is he similar natured as far as he doesn't say much either?
I think he's like his brother in that sense.
They're quiet. They're both quiet.
But not in an awkward way or anything.
They will.
No,
you can have a conversation with them, but you probably need to carry it.
There's nothing wrong with that. We're all different, and I think what makes them special, and you can hear it when their parents talk. I mean, they're good kids. I'm a fan of them. I love both of them. Now, do you think Cahillo can play at the next level, Phil? Obviously, he can hit too, but do you think he can play at the next level? He's not, as far as defensively like his brother, but do you think he can play in the pros?
Well, he needs a position. That's partially what this year's all about for him. That's why he's got to play right field. That was why, it's like in 2020, Casey Martin just did not really look like he was a shortstop, but you had to keep him at shortstop so that he could sort of audition for the next level, even though you were trying to win games. And I thought as that season went on, they might have been forced to take him off shortstop. You could have that situation with Eloy if it isn't going well. But I saw him make a nice play in right field in Arlington. I know he had a throwing error too, but he needs a position. That's why Vahiva was a good shortstop, and eventually he may have to move to third base. But he's a good infielder. Like, he just anticipates the hop so well, and so he's always had a position. And Cahillo is different because he was a pitcher before, and he was just a DH for a couple of years essentially in college, and now he's got to learn a position to be a pro. There are no, designated hitters don't get drafted. That just isn't. That's not how it works.
Well, what the scouts do is they grade you on five tools, and he's got the arm. That's one of his tools. I mean, he was a pitcher. I mean, he threw in the mid-90s. I'm not sure that he had a breaking ball. That's what keeps you from being a pitcher. But he's got the arm to play anywhere on the field. I mean, it's electric. If you watch infield and watch him throw, he throws seeds to home plate.
I think the term is he's got a hose, right?
He does have that. I mean, the ball just does not move. It's a seed. And so that, they won't grade him down that he's new to the position. They're going to look at all those other tools. He runs okay. He's he's strong as. I mean, he hit one middle of the batting eye the other day. I mean, I'm watching on TV.
He got stronger. Like he's got a little bit of like that Incredible Hulk around the shoulders kind of feel that I didn't see last year. He looks bigger and thicker.
The guys on the team have seen him hit a golf ball, and Nolan Souza is a golfer, and they got Cahillo, I think, on a swing simulator, and swing simulators, I'm not a huge fan of the numbers. I mean, they can be a little skewed sometimes, like it. I don't think the swing simulators are quite as good as, say, the TrackMan. But they had a series of his tee shots with the driver, and it was a normal length driver. It wasn't an extra long driver or anything. 420 yards.
Jeez.
Yeah, but it's just incredible power. So
that's what stood out. The first thing you noticed about him last year when games started going was that it had that sound off his bat that is different from than others. Even with a metal bat, it was a different sound. And then you look at the exit velocity, you're like, oh my gosh, yeah, that is going about as hard as I thought, and it's a lot faster off his bat than most other people's, at least on average. And I did hang up on Charlie. So just like you said, he predicted.
Did you really?
Came true. He didn't even have to belch. Well done.
You didn't hang up. He just disappeared.
377-6963. Lewis Automotive Group Hotline. Remember, the Fence Man, anytime you're looking for a fence that stands out, stands strong. 479-782-3936 for the Fence Man. They serve our listening audience, been doing it over 40 years, building custom, one-of-a-kind fences, residential, commercial, high security, automatic gates, 18-month financing available at the Fence Man 2. You can go to thefencemanar.com or call 479-782-3936 for the Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. A little into Arkansas basketball right after this. This is halftime.
Call or text the Lewis Automotive Hotline at 877-377-6963.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
It's a dandy white perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, sacale.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouse. Some serious crappie. Nice speck.
We got crappies.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite white perch, slab, sockeye, papermouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
Once people tried Taco Bell's new Lux value menu with 10 decadent items, all $3 or less, including the new mini taco salad, an edible bowl filled with succulent seasoned beef and dressed with a lavish chipotle crema, they started expecting everything to be as Lux. You're wondering which is the mini taco salad for, aren't you? Taco Bell's new Lux value menu. 10 extravagant indulgences, all $3 or less.
Lewis Automotive has been serving Northwest Arkansas for over 75 years and just getting started.
Our knowledgeable sales team is here to find you the perfect vehicle to fit not only your lifestyle, but also your budget.
Our factory-trained service technicians keep your vehicle running at optimal level.
And if you're looking for genuine parts and accessories, our team has exactly what you need.
Relax in our comfortable lounge, and when your car's ready, we'll return it to you spotless.
Thank you for being a part of our story.
Come see us at Lewis Automotive Group, where you're more than a customer, you're family.
Does your Razorback closet need an upgrade? The University of Arkansas Game Day Collection is what you're looking for, only at Roback.com. They've custom designed the best hoodies, polos, and Q-zips for your school. Go check out this and more at Roback.com, and don't forget to use our link for 20% off. Use code RUSH25 at checkout on Roback.com for 20% off your first order. That's RHOBACK.com. 20% off all hoodies, joggers, and more with Rush 25. Roback, where action meets comfort. Well, the game might be over, but the night usually isn't. You're still hanging out, still scrolling, still looking for something fun to do. That's usually where I end up on my bookie. I'll go from sports straight into the casino. Same account, same balance. What I like is it never feels quiet. There's always something happening. Cash drops, tournaments, live dealers. So you're not just playing, you're part of the action. Head to mybookie.ag now and use promo code HOGS, and you'll get a 300% deposit match up to $750, which gives you plenty to play with. Game night, late night, everything in between. MyBookie's always on.
Dad, the driver looks dirty. You yucky, Daddy.
Hey, don't worry, boys. That's what we do best. At My Dreams Mo Wash, we make homes, businesses, and even big industrial spaces shine like new.
So you can clean houses and big buildings?
That's right. Residential, commercial, or industrial. No job's too big or too small. Call My Dreams Mo Wash today at 479-763-5561 or visit mjmowash.com.
My Junior's Mobile Wash. One call cleans it all.
David Bowie got more fame with his #1 hit titled Fame. John Lennon co-wrote and sounded some of the high notes. The last line in the first verse sums it up. Fame puts you there where things are hollow. John 12:43 tells us that many people rejected Jesus because they loved the fame of people more than the praise of God. Is it any wonder you get more fame by rejecting the name of Jesus? I'm Pastor E. from Woodland. Think about it.
Hello, this is Sebastian County Assessor Zach Johnson here to remind you to assess your personal property by May 31st to avoid late penalty. You can do this in person at one of our 3 locations, over the phone, or online by going to www.countyservice.net. I would also like to remind any current homeowners or any individuals buying their homes on contract to contact our office and check on your eligibility for the homestead tax credit. Contact us today to see if you qualify. The homestead tax credit could save you up to $600 off your tax bill.
This ain't my house, this ain't your home. Now when I'm feeling this
Welcome back to Halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones. Got a question or comment for the guys? Call or text 877-377-6963. All guests join us on the Lewis Automotive Hotline, serving Northwest Arkansas for over 80 years. Lewis Automotive, serving drivers since 1946 and built on a tradition of trust. Now let's get back to halftime with the voice of Arkansas Razorback baseball, Phil Elson, and Arkansas football legend Matt Jones.
Hall of Famer and Emmy Award winner Clay Henry also joining us here on Halftime. And I want to get on Arkansas basketball here, guys. Just in the ideas I brought up in the last segment, how, and even for the first, how I felt this is going to be Ryder Helfrich's team, and it kind of is. I think it's two players that are leading the way in Camden Kojal. And I probably should have thought about Kojal in the offseason in that way, too. Matt, I'd kind of compared the impact that Darius Acuff has to Arkansas basketball in the same way that Kevin Kopps did for Arkansas baseball in 2021, kind of papering over any deficiencies. But I also am seeing now that we've asked who is the Robin for this team for the Batman, and you know that Acuff is the Batman. Well, who's the Robin? And right now it is all the way Billy Richmond. And it kind of seems that there are two guys now that you're looking to on this team, and one of them would be Darius. The other would be – now, it's not just the two of them. There's, Malik is, I think, doing a few more things. Brazil stepping up here and there, Ewan as well. But, man, I'm seeing that from Billy Richmond much in the same way, Matt, that I see that from Kojal.
Well, you're exactly right, and somebody Clay Henry will know is Manchester City's manager Pep. He says he doesn't have backups on the bench. He has Ferrari and Lambos in the garage, and that's what Billy. Think about it. Billy was Carter Knox's backup in the entire year until whatever happens. He's the start. Billy's a Lamborghini, man. Billy is the right. You're exactly right.
The way he attacks the rim has really freed up Thomas. I mean, what Missouri did to Acuff, I think we'll see more of. I mean, I thought the officiating in the game was atrocious. They held and grabbed and had Acuff's jersey for 38 minutes. They finally called it in the last 2 minutes because it was just atrocious. I don't blame Missouri. I mean, you got to keep him off the ball because once he has the ball, he'll beat two men. I mean, he'll slice through two men. I mean, he's so shifty. He's so good with the ball. And, that's what's impressive is that he can get knocked sideways and still maintain control of the ball and get his shot off, get to the rim. But what's happening with Richmond is that they got to play off of him or to protect the rim. Well, guess what? The guy that's doing that is leaving Thomas open, and he hit a couple of big shots where he doesn't need much. But if they're
well, it's bad defensive advice. So it's about closing the spacing. If you're going to guard Richmond and you stay off of him, then you're already beat. Because his first step's so quick. So I think they're going to change that. The coaches are good, but you can't lay off of Richmond because he does everything so well and he's so quick. And so it's like in soccer again. If you don't close the space around 25 yards with some of these guys, they're going to get a shot off, and then you're making it easy for these guys.
It is time and space. So this is my thought, and it has been for the last month. Offense isn't the problem. They can score. I mean, they can score against the best. They have to contain the other team a little bit. I'm watching the game on my couch and told Gene Ann, I said, they just need 2 stops and the game's over. I mean, with like 5, 6, 7 minutes, if they get 2 stops, because Missouri's not stopping them. So if they'll get a couple of stops, then their separation in the game is over. And then it just comes down to making a few free throws. But this team is so much fun to watch because of their offensive capabilities. I mean, they're rock stars. I mean, they are just super duper. I guess I saw a practice in July, It was an open practice, and I watched Malik Thomas and Darius Acuff pretty much that whole practice, and it was. I think I was sitting with Lindy Lindsay, and I looked over at him and I said, "This is a special group. They stay healthy." I said, "We haven't seen two guards like this since Lee Mayberry and Todd Day." Todd Day, I think they said he was a 3, but he's really a 2. But the ability that these guys have, and they like each other, and it was just like Todd and Lee. They can play together, and they pull for each other. They don't mind giving up the ball. And some of the passes from Acuff are just magic. It's like the ball's not in his hands, and somebody's breaking. It's coming to him, and he just flicks it. I mean, I marvel at the ball handling ability of Acuff, and Billy will make a pass too. So it is so much fun when you have that many guys together that are unselfish, that they like each other, and they're just as happy to see one of the other guys dunk as they are making their own points.
This A&M game tomorrow, it's going to be a lot of fun, right? I mean, the back and forth style, the ton of threes they shoot. A&M defends the 3 really well, but you can get to the rack against them. If it's like Arkansas, the way they like to play, it fits perfectly against this A&M team. I can't wait to see, how that plays out.
Yeah, it's a little bit of a question in my mind. Can they, do they have enough guys to play this style against Texas A&M? Because what A&M is trying to do, it's 40 minutes of hell. They want to get to the last 10 minutes, and your legs are gone. And so I don't think Acuff can play 38 minutes at this pace. So we'll see if I think Wagner's healthy now, so he can take the point just like he did in the Missouri game. He and let's be honest, he's better at the point than he is at the 2. So the team is not hurting with him at the point, other than he's not the scorer that Acuff is.
877-377-6963. Anything on basketball that you got here? Got a text in from Seth. He says comparing Billy to Joe Adams when he took a direct snap and bolting. That you just see
same kind of quickness.
That great first step and that same quickness too. Just an exciting player.
Electricity.
Well, and right when you needed somebody to step into this, to that kind of a role, is it sustainable, right? I mean, for somebody that they can't look at what he did as a freshman, but they didn't count upon him for scoring all that much, and now it's like 20 points or more. Do you need that from him on a game by game basis? I guess that part of it will depend on what you get from Brazil, and if the Malik Ewan that played against Mizzou is ready to sign up for the rest of the season, hopefully.
Well, you've got to put your best 2 defenders on as far as, guards. And everybody's playing 3 guards now. But you got to put your best 2 defenders on Acuff and Thomas. So that poor guy, your third best, is on Billy. And he doesn't have a chance. I'm just going to tell you that there's not anybody that can. And it's like, and I'm old, and I keep making these references, but if you go back to the late 70s when you had Brewer, Delph, and Moncrief, I mean it's you got 3 guards. Who are you going to? There's somebody that's going to have a mismatch. Nobody's got 3 elite defenders to play against they called them the triplets, and any one of those guys could go off on you, and oftentimes you didn't have anybody that could cover any of them. I mean, there weren't. Those guys were magic, and I see the same thing with this team. And Wagner is no slouch. I mean, he's a McDonald. Just remember, there's 4 McDonald's All-Americans on this team. Never been an Arkansas team like this.
And a couple on the way next year, too.
Exactly. And then 2 more after that, 3 more after that, 2 more after that. It ain't going to stop.
8 o'clock tomorrow when the Hogs take on Texas A&M, 7:30 for the courtside show. I'll get to listen to the broadcast on this very station you're listening to, as I'm headed to Norman, Oklahoma after the baseball game tomorrow for Arkansas OU women's basketball Thursday night. So you guys enjoy it on ESPN2. I'll enjoy it on hitthatline.com. You can also enjoy the game at Joe's Grilling Cantina. And if you do that, you're wearing your Razorback gear, you're going to get half-price apps and cheap taps all throughout the game. They do that every single Razorback basketball game at Joe's. Half-price apps, cheap taps if you wear your Razorback gear. Complimentary chips, homemade salsa every single day made from scratch, daily Mexican-inspired specials, and happy hour deals from 3 to 6. Joe's Grilling Cantina, they're right across from Harps in Fort Smith on 74th. You can get a look online at the menu at joesfortsmith.com. Back with more halftime after this quick break.
You guys had shirts on when you came in here. Did something happen to them, man?
This is halftime.
$5,000. That's the average amount of money people in the U.S. are now spending on gas in a year. $5,000. That's crazy. If you drive, you have to download Upside, the free app that gives you cash back every time you get gas. That's right. You can earn real cash back with Upside just by buying the gas you're already buying. You can literally start earning cash back today.
I use Upside every time I fill up, and I've already made around $300.
You're putting gas in your car anyway. Why not get real cash back? If you like free money, download Upside.
I'm saving the cash I earn from using Upside to help pay for a vacation later this year.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code IDEA to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code IDEA for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code IDEA for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
You want to win? You got to be like this. Tight.
This is halftime. The Hit That Line Now app, fueled by Taco Bell. Online and on the air and now everywhere you go. Tune in to the greatest moments of Razorback sports with Chuck Barrett, Bo Mattingly, Tommy Kraft, Ty Richardson, Phil Elson, Matt Jones, and Ruskin and Zach with our Hit That Line Now app, fueled by Taco Bell. Stay connected no matter where you go with the Hit That Line Now app, fueled by Taco Bell. Download for free in the Apple app or Google Play stores. Just search Hit That Line Now. It's fueled by Taco Bell.
Being a father doesn't come with a manual, but you don't have to figure it out alone. Invest Fatherhood is a program of Heart to Heart Pregnancy and Family Care Center, and our Man Up classes bring dads together. This is a network of fathers building stronger families one step at a time, mentally, spiritually, and emotionally. If you're ready to be the dad your kids need, man up, step in, and join the Brotherhood. Invest Fatherhood, a Heart to Heart program. Strong fathers change everything. Call Heart to Heart Pregnancy and Family Care Center at 479-452-2260 to sign up today.
Do you need closure on your garage? Call Grit Garage Doors. Whether it's a new door, a squeaky closing sound, a broken spring, or just off track, Grit is who you can trust. Call Grit. There's no door Grit can't close. Local team, local service with honesty and integrity. Call Grit Garage Doors. 479-430-3667. That's 479-430-DOOR. Grit is who you can trust.
Here's to you and yours from the friendly folks at In Good Spirits, your upscale liquor store in Fort Smith. At In Good Spirits, they've got what your taste buds are craving, including flavorful wines from around the world, scrumptious brandies and liqueurs, tempting whiskeys and beers, and fine cigars. Treat yourself to the best as you listen to the game. Check out In Good Spirits, 12100 Highway 71 South, across from Riley Farms in Fort Smith.
If your car took a hit during the recent winter storm, you're not alone. Snow, ice, hidden curbs, and sliding traffic can cause damage you might not even notice right away. At Evans Body Shop, we're here to help. Whether it's a small dent, a scrape, or more serious collision damage. Stop by Evans Body Shop at 412 Gordon Avenue in Van Buren for an inspection and let our experienced team get you safely back on the road. We work with all insurance companies and have been taking care of our community for 20 years.
Evans Body Shop, where we meet the nicest people by accident.
You will never find a boring old burger at Art's Barbecue and Burgers in Fort Smith. Try the Wild West Burger, topped with a hot link, jalapenos, and Art's hot sauce. The Brisket Burger, with tender brisket and caramelized onions on top of their hand-patted burger. Or the famous Art Attack, with house bacon, smoked ham, an onion ring, and a fried egg. There are 10 different burgers to choose from, and they're all $1 off every Saturday. Art's Barbecue Burgers and more. Rogers Avenue, next to Buddy's in Fort Smith.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
So I ran faster, but he caught me here. Yes, my loyalty's turned like my anger in some grave. Running after Billy, running after the rain. These precious things let them lead, wash away. These precious things let them rain.
Welcome back into halftime, live from the Crabtree RV Center studios. Crabtree RV Center, where RVing is life.
Yeah, back on halftime. Quick segment here, and we got Hall of Famer Clay Henry with us too. Matt, I'm still picking Georgia to win the football national championship based on Kirby Smart's face at this Steve Spurrier dinner yesterday. I didn't know what this award is. Did you see any of this, Clay, from last night?
No, I didn't.
At Spurrier's restaurant in Gainesville, there's a first-year coaches award that Spurrier gives out. It's called the Steve Spurrier First-Year Coach Award, and it honors the top first-year head coach in college football. You want to love some irony about this? The winner, and this is given away at Spurrier's restaurant in Gainesville, the winner this year was UNLV head coach Dan Mullen. Isn't that great? Meanwhile, doesn't that add a little bit to the bit, Matt, where Kirby says about the four fired Florida coaches that he's coached against, and one of them is sitting there who just got the first-year award too.
I like Lane Kiffin to win that award next year.
Oh, won't that be something? Give Lane Kiffin a microphone with Steve Spurrier sitting behind him. And John Summerall over there, too, when that might have been the place he landed. Wasn't that the other place that was trying to get Kiffin aside from Ole Miss? Man, I mean, there's layers to all of this. This is going to be – this is the Dean Martin roast of college football annually now. Has to be.
I've got our first-year coach, Ryan Silverfield. I have a big kudos for him. Friend of mine, and I go to this lunch. There's a lunch every Monday at Feltner's, and they have this big long table right in the front. Everybody gets a hamburger, pay for your own lunch, and it'll be guys like attendees will be Jim Lindsay, and it'll be Ken Hatfield, Dick Hatfield, Bobby Fields, former player on the '69 team. Lewis Campbell, and I mean, Jim Watson used to have Watson Groceries out in southeast part of town. There'll be 12 to 15 men there. A lot of old timers, and Ryan Silverfield came to pay tribute to Jim Lindsay. And I'm telling you, Ryan Silverfield is doing everything correctly. He's mending fences where they need to be. He's doing things that he's in good with the Lindsay family now. I mean, I can tell you for sure that he's mended fences, and I don't think the last three coaches did a good job with the Lindsay family. And I don't understand why, but they just didn't. And I give him, 2 rounds of applause for coming to that luncheon and breaking bread in that setting. And I think it was a little bit of a surprise. I'm not sure. Anybody can go if you want to. Mr. Lindsey's not in good health. He's aware of what's going on, but his ability to converse isn't great. But it's, it means a lot to people like Ken Hatfield and those other men there to see Ryan Silverfield there to see Mr. Lindsey. I mean, I think it's whoever told him to do that, they pointed him in the right direction.
Now, there's other stuff I want to hit on about exactly what you're talking about in just a little bit. We got a break. Hey, remember the Great American Conference Basketball Championships are in Fort Smith at Northside High School starting next Thursday. It's March 5th and taking you all the way through Sunday the 8th. You can see the best men's and women's teams in the GAC battle it out for an automatic bid to the Division II NCAA basketball tournament. Tickets and information for the GAC tournament at Fort Smith Northside High School at GreatAmericanConference.com. It's the GAC Basketball Championships, March 5th through the 8th, Fort Smith Northside High School. Back in a moment to wrap up hour number 2. This is Halftime.
You need money. All I need are some tasty waves, cool buzz, and I'm fine.
This is Halftime.
Up to $11,000 off on select GMC Sierras at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. The GMC Sierra will conquer the road with confidence. Up to $11,000 off. Or take 5.9% financing for up to 84 months. Lease the all-new 2026 GMC Canyon for as low as $399 a month with approved credit. Harry Robinson Buick GMC. We are professional grade. Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith.
Hello, this is Sebastian County Assessor Zach Johnson here to remind you to assess your personal property by May 31st to avoid late penalty. You can do this in person at one of our 3 locations, over the phone, or online by going to www.countyservice.net. I would also like to remind any current homeowners or any individuals buying their homes on contract to contact our office and check on your eligibility for the homestead tax credit. Contact us today to see if you qualify. The homestead tax credit could save you up to $600 off your tax bill.
This ad sponsored by the Sebastian County Assessor and paid for by Amendment 79.
Hey everybody, Zachary Hall here, otherwise known as the Arkansas Storm Tracker. If you have not stopped by the Jam Mart in Fort Smith on Phoenix Avenue, you're missing out. They have a brand new hot case in there. They serve breakfast, they serve lunch, they serve dinner. My personal favorite is the chicken strips and potato wedges. They also serve cheeseburgers as well. They have all sorts of options that you don't want to miss. Be sure to stop by and see your local Jam Mart, Phoenix Avenue in Fort Smith today. Jam Mart, the leading gas station and convenience store in Arkansas.
Fill her up, please.
Mustard or ketchup? Selling your home doesn't have to be stressful. Not when you work with Tara Lindbergh and the Lindbergh Real Estate Group. With over $1 billion in real estate sold, Tara's team knows how to make the process simple, successful, and even enjoyable. They can provide you with a cash offer in 72 hours, or you can use Tara's high-octane marketing and sell your home for thousands over asking. When it's time to buy or sell, trust the team that delivers results. Go to LindberghTeam.com. LIMBIRD.
When second's making a play, short's got to cover.
A winning insurance strategy doesn't rely on one person.
Good hustle, good hustle.
Communicate with your guys and make sure everyone's in the right coverage. It takes a team that knows its roles well, working together to provide an exceptional experience.
Set the screen. You have to protect yourself. 1, 2, 3, 1.
At Shelter Insurance, you can count on our local agents and award-winning customer service to help you protect what matters most.
Call Brad Howe in Van Buren or call Ryan Hughes in Fort Smith.
Wave Rural Connect has some exciting news. Our service is now available in a brand new zone covering parts of Midland and Montreal. If you're along Highway 45, 252 or 253, or on Douglas Road or Slaytonville Road, you can get fast, reliable fiber internet today. Don't miss out. Visit WaveRuralConnect.com or call 1-833-492-8372. Wave Rural Connect. Internet that works when you need it most.
We've seen it all. Recessions, tornadoes, even a global pandemic. But Hug Chevrolet GMC never closed its doors. We stuck with our community because they stuck with us. And through it all, one thing never changed: our commitment to serve, support, and stay local. Hug Chevrolet GMC, built to last, just like the people we serve.
Join ESPN Arkansas for the Champions for Children's Give-a-thon, presented by Limbird Real Estate Group, Colorworks Paint and Body, and River City Coatings, all month long, with a huge live push on Friday, February 27th. Last year, ESPN Arkansas listeners helped raise over $20,000 for Arkansas Children's Northwest. Every dollar stays local and helps kids and families right here in our community. Go to hitthatline.com, click the Give-a-thon link, and pick your favorite show and give. Let's rally and change lives together.
Single room with 3 other individuals. One of them was a male, and the other 2, well, the other 2 were females. God only knows what they were up to in there. And furthermore, Susan, I wouldn't be the least bit surprised to learn that all 4 of them habitually smoke marijuana cigarettes. Reefers.
Make sure to follow Halftime on X at HitThatLineAR and on Facebook and Instagram at HitThatLine. Call or text 877-377-6963. All guests join us on the Lewis Automotive Hotline, serving Northwest Arkansas for over 80 years. Lewis Automotive, serving drivers since 1946 and built on a tradition of trust. Let's get back to the show with Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
Wrapping up hour number 2 of Halftime with a quick note here. Mark Pope got fined and issued a public reprimand, $25,000 for, and this was a walk-away statement. Mitch, if those mother effers try to find me, screw them, because I did not say a word about how they cheated us. He said that as he's walking away from the podium, but if it gets picked up by the microphones, that means he said it into the microphone and said it at a press conference. So I guess he shouldn't care very much, right? Because he said he wouldn't. So if they try to find him, screw him. So I guess screw him, right?
Yeah, the next fine will be even bigger.
25,000 up to 100,000. Something tells me. Now, did he actually? I didn't hear the whole thing. Did he actually drop the real F word?
No,
I didn't think he would.
He just used the letters that go with it.
Mm-hmm. Would he have gotten extra fine if he would have spelled out the entire word? If you can't say that word on television, you say that in a press conference, you're going to get an extra $25,000.
If I was him,
Well,
I'd
you
be
might
looking
be
for
suspended.
the person who picked it up. I'd be like, turn your mic off, man. I was out of the room.
Well, was he out of the room or was he on his
No,
He was close.
He was almost to the hallway.
Almost to the hallway. I wonder if there's some sort of, threshold that when you cross over, it no longer counts. But it's like, is Mick Cronin, I mean, he didn't say anything that's going to get him fined, but at some point, just in a scrum outside a locker room, because I guess UCLA allows scrums for reporters outside the locker room. Remember when you got to do that, Clay?
Yeah,
When's the last time? I think the only time you ever see anything like that is after the baseball team's finished playing at Arlington, and you just get to talk to Dave in front of the dugout. Otherwise, it's always manicured, right? It's a press conference setting.
The last scrum I remember with the football head coach was actually in Arlington at AT&T Stadium, where they would bring the football coach in, and everybody would just gather around him, and they had to quit doing that because some of the camera guys would just kind of push their way through the scrums so they'd be close, and they knocked people down. I got knocked down. I actually got my knee hurt, and because I was front and center, and man, all at once somebody hit me right in the back. A camera guy. He's no longer working.
Don't hit anybody in the back right now with a camera or anything else. Just stay with us through the break, and we get to the top of the hour at 1 o'clock. You can call or text our Lewis Automotive Group hotline at 877-377-6963, and we're right back.
Budweiser, the American lager. Time-honored recipe, true to our original process, brewed using the choicest hops, rice, and best barley malt, delivering great quality beer since 1876. Budweiser. This Bud's for you. Enjoy responsibly. Copyright 2024 Anheuser-Busch Budweiser Lager Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Are you tired of loose, uncomfortable dentures or struggling with missing teeth? This is Dr. Charles Liggett with River Valley Smile Center. Dr. Cole Johnson, Dr. Hannah Cave, and myself experienced with full arch dental implant solutions. Dentures that are securely attached to implants, giving you a natural looking, confident smile that feels like your own. No more slipping, no more pain, just the freedom to smile, speak, and eat with ease. You like coming to see us, right, Matt?
Who doesn't want to say, I love the way your smile lights up under your eyes? Call 479-646-0706 or visit rivervalleysmiles.com to schedule your consultation today.
Get ready for Mudbug Mayhem, the crawfish festival that's a true celebration of community, family, and culture. Join us March 7th at Chaffee Crossing Historic District for Cajun-inspired food, live music, local vendors, and a sizzling crawfish cook-off. Check out the car show, the cornhole contest. There's activities for all ages, and you can make memories with friends and family. Don't miss the fun. Mudbug Mayhem Crawfish Festival, March 7th. It's free to get in. Learn more at mudbugmayhemfest.com.
Looking for a career with a company built to last? At Forsgren, we've been shaping the future of the River Valley since 1936. Nearly 90 years of excellence, innovation, and family-driven leadership. From sidewalks that still stand today to major infrastructure projects across the region, our legacy is built on quality and community. Apply now at goforsgren.com. Join the Forsgren legacy, where your work becomes part of something lasting. Forsgren, building the foundation of the River Valley for 4 generations. Apply now at goforsgren.com.
World-class trout fishing is the star of the show at Gaston's White River Resort, where a few days away from all the worries and stress will make all right in your world. Gaston's has friendly, experienced guides to help you land your limit. Enjoy your stay at Gaston's in one of their private cottages, or reserve a lodge for up to 20 people. Call now and let Gaston's help you plan your next getaway on the White River. 870-431-5202. That's 870-431-5202. Or learn more at Gastons.com. Gaston's, a first-class time, every time.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
For today, lots of sunshine. Our high temperatures this afternoon will be into the lower 60s. We will see cloudy to partly cloudy skies tonight. And overnight low will drop down into the mid-40s. Wednesday, just a little sunshine through the clouds at times. Highs in the upper 60s to low 70s. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
The weather is brought to you by Forsgren Incorporated, committed to setting the standard of excellence since 1936. KERX Paris Fort Smith. This is Halftime, coming at you from the Crabtree RV Studios on ESPN 95.3. Broadcasting on ESPN Arkansas and streaming on hitthatline.com.
We got a good one tonight. You got a team in here that could respect you.
Live from the Busch Light Studio.
Don't ask me if I'm all right. Joaquin said dominate, and we not doing it.
We're going to go get one and celebrate on somebody else's field.
Yeah.
Both said you had very motivational words at halftime.
It's Halftime with Bill Olson and Matt Jones.
From the bottom of my toes to the top of my head. What's my hot dog? Let's go, man.
I have zero respect for saying no moss at halftime.
Even one Razorback.
It's vintage Matt Jones.
The Cinderella story is over, man. Let's go.
Call or text 877-377-6963. Now, here's Phil Olson and Matt Jones.
Halftime, moving on at 1:01 in the afternoon. The Arkansas State baseball team is lining up along the left field line here at Boehm Walker Stadium. Got a 3 o'clock first pitch and airtime at 2:30. I'm going to get out of here in about 29 minutes or so, a little less than that, because we'll take a break before that.
We're going to talk about you.
Well, I'm not sure what there is to talk about. Other than Matt and I, we're going to talk about opening or buying Herman's, and then Matt would be the silent partner. We would build a radio studio. We'll host halftime there. Matt can cook, and I'll entertain.
Food.
Yeah, and Clay can test the food.
Clay's a good cook, but you got to get Grant Hall, and you got to run specials called Hall of Fame specials on Wednesdays.
I love it. I love it. Yeah, and Grant can eat for free.
Of course. That was an unspoken
the only way
rule.
he eats.
Right. Well, Grant was kind of famous for that, and it's things have changed a little bit across the landscape of Arkansas athletics. You no longer can really feed yourself on the athletic department's dime. It's just they don't have that. It's not available anymore. You basically get your voucher and go get yourself a dog and whatever it is you want to wash it down with, and call it a day.
I give Grant credit. He retired long before me.
But that's called being smart, right?
That is.
And when he retired, he kind of mostly meant it. You retired, and you didn't mean it.
No, I didn't mean it.
I don't think you'd ever mean it. That's right. But you still get choices. You get choices. You know what he was doing a couple days ago, Matt? Or maybe this was last week. He was teaching kids how to tie flies.
Oh,
I mean,
love that.
you want to talk about when you find your people? I think he found his people.
And those kids, I went to Norfolk High School. Brandy Salee had, I think she handpicked, it wasn't a class, it was 15 kids picked out, 15 boys picked out of different classes. And I had them for 90 minutes, and we tied flies. And they all came away with one of their flies and one of mine. So they all have flies. And then we talked about fly fishing. And then Lauren with Arkansas Game and Fish came in, and they learned how to cook fish tacos. They had 90 minutes of cooking class. And I had to leave because I had to come do radio with you guys. I wanted to come do radio. I don't want to say I had to do radio. I wanted to come join y'all. I would have loved to have been in that cooking class to learn how to cook, make slaw to go with fish tacos, which is a great meal.
I feel like I'd be pretty good if I had to be on the grill at Herman's. And I don't want to be sacrilegious about this because I know for some folks it's a religious experience.
It
there.
is.
But I'd be pretty good at cooking a rare steak if that's what it is that you ordered. So I haven't ruined one of those things for a while. I might be halfway decent at that. And Matt Jones, I think we may have found our not so silent partner here. Our friend Dr. Charlie Liggett from River Valley Smile Center says he wants a piece of Herman. So I don't know anybody between you, me, and him that's doing any better than Charlie.
Got to have some purple cabbage in that slaw, Clay.
Oh, I think so. Yeah, I mean, I think it adds a little color and it adds a little taste, a little vinegar. Yeah. Gene Ann and I we lived in Fayetteville. We went to Herman's just about every Thursday night. We went in that back right corner. When you walk in the front door, it's a little two-man corner, two-person table. And she got the garlic chicken, and I'd get a T-bone or porterhouse. I can't remember. It was, their biggest steak. It's about 3 inches thick. And the highlight, according to Gene Ann, was at the end when they wrapped it in foil, the bone, and then they would produce another bone from the freezer wrapped in foil. We had 2 labs, and when we walked in at home and gave those dogs labs, they would run to a corner of the backyard, their butts touching each other, facing the opposite directions and gnawing those bones, and that made Gene Ann so happy.
Well, Matt, you know what you're supposed to do with a bone from a ribeye, right? You're not supposed to give it to a dog. That's prime
for the beans.
Broth. That's a prime broth bone right there for you, isn't it?
You could do that, but it's like, that without question, my wife loves the dogs more than me. Without question. I mean, when she's gone on a trip and she calls home, and I think she's calling to check on me. Never ask how I'm doing. How's Millie?
Lunch arrived, guys. My own personal DoorDash delivery driver has shown up here in the Baum Walker radio booth. He's dressed and he looks a little bit like Bubba Carpenter. And of course, I don't just get the Sonic Smash Burger. The thing is smashed. Look at that thing. This thing, I think, got run over by a car before he handed it to me.
Did he have it in his back pocket?
It was in his bag that's stuffed with like 18 different baseballs. Now, of course, it's not too smash. I mean, the word is smasher, so it should be smashed, shouldn't it?
Sonic and Tails. There you go. NIL deal.
Perfect. That's why I put it. Yeah, we had Will Roth came into the booth for our first broadcast, and he saw that I've got AI on Bubba's scorebook, and it's of course got like 4 or 5 different Sonic burgers out there in front of him, and that's how we're going to get free food. He's took a photo of it. We're talking about Sonic all the time on the broadcast. Basically, Bubba, if they scored 20 runs today, I got to eat one of these every game the rest of the year, right? That's how it works.
What's the second best burger in town? Heaven forbid, Sonic, something happens. Where does Bubba go?
What's your second burger?
What's the silver
If Sonic
polish?
closes down, what's your second burger?
Is it Wendy's? Burger King?
He said
No,
McDonald's.
it's
Big Kahuna Burger?
It's CJ's.
I hear they have a tasty burger, Matt. Did you bring me a Sprite to wash this thing down? I'm kidding. I was just trying to do some lines for you. It's a smashed burger, B. That's right. It's not smushed.
I found a good burger, and it's that was my burger yesterday on my way to Beaver Tailwaters. I drove from here over. It's about Eureka Springs. I go through Eureka Springs, but when I go through Harrison, I stop at Culver's and get a double cheeseburger.
That's the butter burgers, right?
It's the butter burger, yeah. I think they've got one in Northwest Arkansas now. It's a Wisconsin chain. I'm not a cheese curd fan, but they got them. Apparently, they're pretty good. Have you ever had a cheese curd?
I can eat a curd of cheese, absolutely. I can eat cheese in all its forms. Curd or not? Shut up, Christian. What is wrong with you back there? We got people belching on the air. We got off-color jokes off the air, too. That's great.
I don't belch. It was just a small little burp.
Well, you didn't do it on the air, at least. No, I had a guy that I remember growing up. He was a friend of my parents, and he was on a radio show in Pittsburgh, and he would literally belch to people that he disagreed with on the when they would call in. He disagreed with their opinion, and he would burp at them on the radio.
Yeah.
Like, do you realize how much cachet you have to have with your bosses to be able to do that? It's like the commercial of the guy. Forget what the company is who like barks at his boss because she brings up Georgia football. Would have been a lot funnier if he belched at her.
That's a funny commercial, but I mean, after the 80th time, I'm over it.
Yeah, because you got to see these commercials 20 times in one football or basketball broadcast. It's like you got only one sponsor, pretty much. Brent likes Dave's in Conway. That's a good burger.
Same thing.
Hey, right? Last night in Little Rock at the Faded Rose, they do a good burger at the Faded Rose too, and you can smash it or smush it if you want.
Yeah, that's good. That's good stuff.
Well, the box that Bubba brought me, the Sonic, isn't really so smashed or smushed. It's more crumpled.
Crumpled.
That's crumpled, right? That's like it was squeezed together between two things, and it couldn't quite handle all that pressure. But it does keep the burger together mostly. It's a lot better than just having a peanut butter and jelly sandwich with no crust around it downstairs. Are we ready to go into the batting? They're taking BP in the Fowler Center. What do you think about that? By the way, Arkansas against Arkansas State. Get a load of these numbers. Since 2021, 5-0 against A-State. 48 runs scored, 11 allowed. 52 base hits, 21 allowed. 8 home runs, 0 hit by A-State. And Arkansas pitchers have struck out 56 of their batters. Arkansas batters only 38 strikeouts. It hasn't just been a 5-0 record against A-State. It's been utter, total, white-hot, 200% domination.
Smashed. We're talking about smashed.
Smashed, that's right. Like this burger's going to be in the next 3 minutes because we'll break, and I'll smash this burger as much as I possibly can.
And you're going to belch when we come back.
Well, I'll just do that during a commercial break while Bubba's on the phone, too. All right, so we'll break. We got Bill King coming up in a moment. This is halftime.
Call or text the Lewis Automotive Hotline at 877-377-6963. Lewis Automotive, serving drivers since 1946. And
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
It's a dandy white perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, sacalé.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouse.
Some serious crappie. Nice speck.
We got crappies.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite white perch, slab, sockeye, papermouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
Once people tried Taco Bell's new Lux value menu with 10 decadent items, all $3 or less, including the new mini taco salad, an edible bowl filled with succulent seasoned beef and dressed with a lavish chipotle crema, they started expecting everything to be as Lux. You're wondering which is the mini taco salad for, aren't you? Taco Bell's new Lutz Value Menu. 10 extravagant indulgences, all $3 or less.
Lewis Automotive has been serving Northwest Arkansas for over 75 years and just getting started.
Our knowledgeable sales team is here to find you the perfect vehicle to fit not only your lifestyle, but also your budget.
Our factory-trained service technicians keep your vehicle running at optimal level.
And if you're looking for genuine parts and accessories, our team has exactly what you need.
Relax in our comfortable lounge. And when your car's ready, we'll return it to you spotless.
Thank you for being a part of our story.
Come see us at Lewis Automotive Group, where you're more than a customer, you're family.
Does your Razorback closet need an upgrade? The University of Arkansas Game Day Collection is what you're looking for, only at Roback.com. They've custom designed the best hoodies, polos, and Q-zips for your school. Go check out this and more at Roback.com, and don't forget to use our link for 20% off. Use code RUSH25 at checkout on Roback.com for 20% off your first order. That's RHOBACK.com. 20% off all hoodies, joggers, and more with Rush 25. Roback, where action meets comfort. Well, the game might be over, but the night usually isn't. You're still hanging out, still scrolling, still looking for something fun to do. That's usually where I end up on MyBookie. I'll go from sports straight into the casino. Same account, same balance. What I like is it never feels quiet. There's always something happening. Cash drops, tournaments, live dealers. So you're not just playing, you're part of the action. Head to mybookie.ag now and use promo code HOGS, and you'll get a 300% deposit match up to $750, which gives you plenty to play with. Game night, late night, everything in between. MyBookie's always on.
Dad, the driver looks dirty. Ew, yucky, Daddy.
Hey, don't worry, boys. That's what we do best. At My Dreams Mo Wash, we make homes, businesses, and even big industrial spaces shine like new.
So you can clean houses and big buildings?
That's right. Residential, commercial, or industrial. No job's too big or too small. Call My Dreams Mo Wash today at 479-763-5561 or visit mjmowash.com.
My Junior's Mobile Wash. One call cleans it all.
David Bowie got more fame with his #1 hit titled Fame. John Lennon co-wrote and sounded some of the high notes. The last line in the first verse sums it up. Fame puts you there where things are hollow. John 12:43 tells us that many people rejected Jesus because they loved the fame of people more than the praise of God. Is it any wonder you get more fame by rejecting the name of Jesus? I'm Pastor E from Woodland. Think about it.
Hello, this is Sebastian County Assessor Zach Johnson here to remind you to assess your personal property by May 31st to avoid late penalty. You can do this in person at one of our 3 locations, over the phone, or online by going to www.countyservice.net. I would also like to remind any current homeowners or any individuals buying their homes on contract to contact our office and check on your eligibility for the homestead tax credit. Contact us today to see if you qualify. The homestead tax credit could save you up to $600 off your tax bill.
I wish that I could fly into the sky so very high, just like a dragonfly. I fly above the trees, over the seas, with all the breeze, to anywhere I please. I want to get away. I want to fly. Yeah. Yeah.
Make sure to follow Halftime on X at Hit That Line AR and on Facebook and Instagram at Hit That Line. Call or text 877-377-6963. All guests join us on the Lewis Automotive Hotline, serving Northwest Arkansas for over 80 years. Lewis Automotive, serving drivers since 1946 and built on a tradition of trust. Let's get back to the show with Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
On our Lewis Automotive Group hotline here on a Tuesday morning, Bill King, Nashville Sports Radio. Always appreciate Bill's time when he's able to join us here. Bill, I was listening earlier today. I had a lot of fun, and I was talking a little bit about this Spurrier dinner last night for this first-year coaches award. I'm ready to make my prediction that Georgia will win the national title based on the look on Kirby's face yesterday.
That's the first setting where I've seen Spurrier amazed at coaches taking shots at each other, and he didn't say a word. How about that? I mean, he's the king. He invented this stuff, and he was sitting there to the side, just taking it all in. It was very entertaining.
The winner, Dan Mullen, how long does he stay at UNLV, Bill? Is he kind of a coach that's on the come again? Do you see him taking over a better program, or do you think he's at UNLV for the next 4, 5, 6 years?
Another year similar, and he'll have overtures. Now, I think the more interesting debate would be what level. And not a prediction, but Jeff Levy's at a tough place, Mississippi State. Couple more years of struggling there. And again, just what if? Would they circle back there? Don't know. That's something that came up on the show today, actually. But he's going to have some options. I don't think it's going to be a high Big Ten, SEC top 5, top 6 type job, but he'll have opportunity.
Who was the player that Kirby and Cristobal were kind of going back and forth about? The Kirby saying, celebrating their birthday with all the NIL money. I mean, they're really joking about all this stuff, but there's definitely something behind it. Well, who was that player?
Ellis Robinson, who's from Connecticut, but played at IMG down in Bradenton, was the top-ranked corner in the class of 23 and one of the top 2 or 3 ranked players in the country. And it came down to Miami and Georgia, and he ended up at Georgia. His first year was kind of a learning year this year. He really came on as young cornerback. So technically he's not a true freshman. He's a redshirt. His parents were there, which obviously during recruiting, Kirby and Mario got to know. And they were talking about how his parents both had 50th birthdays here recently, and Mama got the better of it. And he said, we probably funded that with all the money we're sending to him. And then he said, I don't like you sitting over there so close to Mario because we know he'd pay you more money and he steals players. Right there in front of everybody. It was so funny.
Have you ever been to Spurrier's? I've been there a couple times, and one time Spurrier showed up, grabbed the microphone, and started doing material. And I was like my food fell out of my mouth from what I was watching. Have you been there before?
I have not.
It's the food's good, but it's almost, I feel like that's a place where you never know what's going to happen when you walk in there, and probably part of that is because you never know when Spurrier's going to show. I was watching that video too, man, and he's sitting in that chair behind, I think it was Cristobal, and he's got his arms folded, and he is laughing his butt off. He was having the time of his life, and I hadn't thought of it the way that you'd put it. He invented that stuff, and then just the optics of Dan Mullen getting that award there, and Smart talking about Summerall being the 4th coach that he's coached against for Florida, and about his daughter being the real estate. We need that every year. Like, that's the Dean Martin roast of college football now.
The storylines from just that event are endless. Philip Fulmer was the legend who got awarded. Florida and Tennessee peaked in the 90s, between about 94 and 94 and about 01, where every time they played, it was probably for the division, the whole league, and maybe for a national championship, right? Those games meant that much. And Spurs and East Tennessee guys, where he played his high school ball in Johnson City. So he was always taking shots at Tennessee. Tennessee fans hated him, and the Tennessee fans who aren't old enough have no idea how epic that rivalry was in the mid to late 90s compared to today. Today, Tennessee and Florida do not compare as rivals to back then. And that was Fulmer.
Yeah, there was a stretch, I remember this too, where that was the most anticipated game of the year in the SEC. There were about 3 or 4 years you could say that, right? It's been a while.
1 year, 98 national championship year, little insight. Tennessee won the game, regular season game on a field goal, 51-yarder by James Wilhoit. James Wilhoit got to Tennessee because one summer day I'm at my desk and I get an email. My name is James Wilhoit. I'm right now committed to Michigan, but I want to go to Tennessee. Would you put me in touch with them? Which I just sent the email up to a guy I knew, and they took him. That's how he got there. Tennessee fans could give me credit for that W, perhaps.
Yeah, I mean, that's crazy. I also heard you talking about the when Tennessee recruited Peyton Manning, and
yeah,
man, I mean, I forget about this sometimes. How there's so much talk about Arch Manning right now, and there has been ever since he got to campus. There, it's just what was more hype? Because I remember when Peyton started there as a freshman, it's like the hype there was off the charts, and Arch didn't really even play very much until last year.
Peyton Manning by infinity.
Mm-hmm.
Not even close. They think because the services now have 5 stars and all that, recruiting was every bit, if not more popular back then than it is today. It's not the business that it is today compared to then. Peyton Manning was the first Manning. He was the best Manning. He was everybody's All-American from his sophomore year up. He studied it more than anybody else as far as the schools he was considering, and it's not even close. And he ended up having to play in the first game at UCLA because the starting quarterback, Jerry Colquitt, blew his knee on the first play of the game. Now, you know who went in before him, though? Peyton Manning went in third. A MLB Hall of Famer,
Todd Helton, right.
Yes. Todd Helton went in. And then that wasn't working, and so they put Peyton in. And then Peyton wasn't working, and they put a kid in from Texas, another freshman. They used 4 quarterbacks in that loss.
You know, quarterbacks around college right now, more the Oregon quarterback that's coming back. I know Ty Simpsons is going to the NFL. Chambliss gets another year. Is Arch Manning even a top 5 quarterback in college football right now? My guess would be no, but he has the royalty name, so we treat him like a top 5 quarterback in college football. I don't even think Arch Manning in this crop of quarterbacks is a. What are you thinking? Is he a top 5 quarterback in college football?
Not right now. I think if we get to the draft and his status is still the same, he's going to get overtaken, meaning he's going to go overdrafted. Now, I do think he really came on, and I'm up for maybe this year he just explodes, and maybe in year 4 it took him that long to get there. We think Johnny 5-star most of the time shows you what he's got really early. And we haven't been able, whether it was Quinn Ewers in the way or whether he struggled 2/3 of the season a year ago. So I'm up for he develops into that kind of player. He has not shown that yet.
No, I'm with you, but Bo Nix, prime example, but I'm always for reps. Quarterbacks need reps. They need reps. They need first-team reps. You got to be the leader, and that's what he's doing. So he is getting better, no question about it. It's hard to be, you got to think that he's actually I'm an Arch Manning fan, but you got to think he's actually handling himself pretty well. I mean, he's in the spotlight. He has that Manning name, and the things the way he's handled himself. I think he's first class off the field, but when it comes to on the field, I just don't see it as much. But yes, you're right. Keep getting reps, and then all of a sudden something might happen, because after Bo Nix's sophomore year, nobody thought he was going to be leading the team to the AFC Championship game.
This is not necessarily the best example, but on that topic, I said today, basically walking around there, he's Elvis at his peak popularity, meaning around that town, I don't imagine he can go anywhere. He can't go into a gas station.
Yeah.
Correct. But, I mean, getting out of the car, he can't just be himself, right? I mean, he's going to be – and you're right. From everything and the Manning family's always been class. But everything I'm seeing this kid is he's handled that part of it extremely well.
Here's the thing I wonder about Arch when his career's over. Because when you go to Ole Miss, and I was just there for women's basketball, and you walk by the little gate that says Manning Way, it's got Archie's name, it's got Eli's name, Peyton's on there too, so is Cooper, and Arch is not on that, not yet. But it would be really odd to think, because Peyton's on there, that's a Tennessee quarterback. At some point, they may have a Texas quarterback on that little gate too, Bill.
I can promise you, in 1994, and until Eli got there, Peyton wasn't on anything down there.
I'm sure.
I believe you.
That's exactly what I thought when I crossed over there. And I'm like, wait a minute, that's Peyton's name. That couldn't have been on there for very long. Could not.
No.
Bill, always appreciate your time on halftime.
Thanks,
and we really enjoy your show. If you get a chance to listen to Bill, Nashville Sports Radio, 6 to 9, Monday through Friday. I use the TuneIn Radio app, and he joins us here Tuesdays on halftime. All right, I got to get out. Dave Van Horn down on the field. Well, I guess they're in the Fowler Center for batting practice. 877-377-6963 is the Lewis Automotive Group hotline. Look, Bet Saracen got Arkansas baseball favored by 4.5 runs, minus 900 on the money line. That is one of the craziest, absolute craziest lines that I've ever seen. They got Mizzou also favored by 4.5 over UAPB baseball, so that'll tell you what's going on. And Matt and Christian and Clay are back for more halftime right after this.
Hogs out of there with a rebound. A couple ups to Richmond and a two-hand jam.
This is halftime.
If you're tired of hearing scary ads about the IRS, Tax Relief Advocates wants you to know you don't have to be afraid. No matter what challenging life situation you're facing while owing 10 or even hundreds of thousands in back taxes to the IRS, we have a solution. TRA has already negotiated over $1.5 billion in taxes owed by over 180,000 struggling taxpayers since 2017, earning over 1,000 5-star Google reviews and an A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau. Generous tax debt forgiveness programs are currently available that can end your tax nightmare and may reduce or eliminate what you owe the IRS. If you're facing collections or an audit, don't lose hope. Act now to check what tax relief you may qualify for. Simply visit TRA.com or call 800-583-4890. 800-583-4890. Again, that's 800-583-4890. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
You're listening to Halftime Live from the Crabtree RV Center studios. Crabtree RV Center, where RVing is life.
Up to $11,000 off on select GMC Sierras at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. The GMC Sierra will conquer the road with confidence. Up to $11,000 off. Or take 5.9% financing for up to 84 months. Lease the all-new 2026 GMC Canyon for as low as $399 a month with approved credit. Harry Robinson Buick GMC. We are professional grade. Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith.
Life is loud, chaotic, hilarious, and occasionally peaceful. Your life fits you, so why settle for life insurance that fits someone else? At Shelter Insurance, our local agents help you design a personal protection plan backed by award-winning customer service. We're your shield. We're your shelter. Shelter Life Insurance Company, Columbia, Missouri.
Call Brandon Zimmerman in Barling or call Wade Gilkey in Fort Smith.
Founded in 1950, Crabtree RV Center has grown into one of the River Valley's largest RV dealerships, proudly serving Northwest Arkansas, specializing in sales, parts, and service. We're truly your one-stop shop for all your RV needs. Conveniently located with easy access to I-40 and I-49, we're 40 minutes from Northwest Arkansas and just as close to our friends in Oklahoma, carrying top brands like Grand Design, Coachman, East to West, and Forest River. Crabtree RV Center, making your family's dreams come true for over 70 years.
All right, you're all set with a coat and scarf. Bundling up?
Yeah, it's freezing out there.
Want to bundle up some wins?
Wins?
It's the $5 bundle from the Arkansas Scholarship Lottery. It's Powerball with Power Play, Lotto, and a free Natural State Jackpot ticket, all for just $5.
Wait. 3 chances for 3 jackpots for $5? Bundle me up.
Ask for the $5 bundle today. Must be 18 or older to play. Call or text 1-800-522-4700 for Problem Gambling Helpline.
Valley Family Dental at the entrance to Riley Farms provides every type of dental care and procedure for you and your family. General dentistry, braces, implants, same-day crowns, and cosmetics. Dr. Sparkman, Farmer, and now Dr. Blaine Van Nice work to give all of their patients a better life with a better smile. Valley Family Dental, 5901 Riley Park Drive, Suite A at the entrance to Riley Farms. Let them know you heard this on ESPN Radio and receive $300 off a snore guard. Valley Family Dental, 479-226 valleyfamilydentalpractice.com.
Take your tax refund the extra mile with a road-ready certified pre-owned vehicle at Rath Auto Resources. We've been working around the clock to beef up our inventory. We're proud to say this is our best, largest selection of road-ready certified pre-owned to choose from, price to sell, and backed by a comprehensive warranty. There's no reason to settle for less. Come see why your friends and neighbors voted us the River Valley's #1 pre-owned car dealer, and see why all the happiest drivers are rolling with Rath. Rath Auto Resources, 4515 Towson Avenue, Fort Smith.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game.
ESPN 95.3.
So far to spot up. Where things are hard.
Make sure to follow Halftime on X at Hit That Line AR and on Facebook and Instagram at Hit That Line. Call or text 877-377-6963. All guests join us on the Lewis Automotive Hotline, serving Northwest Arkansas for over 80 years. Lewis Automotive, serving drivers since 1946 and built on a tradition of trust. Let's get back to the show with Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
All right, back halftime here, rolling right along. Let's go, man. We've had Brent hanging on for a while. It's myself, Christian Johnson on the board. Phil Elson's gone. He stepped away. He has other responsibilities. Got things he's got to do. And we got Fisherman Clay Henry with us as well. So let's go to the phone lines. Brent, what's up, buddy?
What's up, Matt? What's up, Clay Henry? What's up, Christian?
We're all good, Brent. Good to hear your voice.
Hey, I got one thing to say, and I think it's great, and I think it's fantastic. I am so glad that Coach Silverfield saw it in his busy schedule to go eat hamburgers with my guys over at Feltner Brothers. Now that's just fantastic. That's one thing. And Clay, don't take this wrong about the other staff. They had the former staff had no clue, or he acted like he had no clue who Jim Lindsey and the Lindsey family was. I mean, they didn't even recruit. That staff didn't even recruit Drake Lindsey, the starting quarterback at a Big Ten school.
You're preaching to the choir, Brent.
And you want me to give you a secret?
Yes.
That's why Big Sam's not there anymore, because he did not want former players at practice. Coach Silverfield's already called everybody and said, please come to practice. And we want our people to be involved. And I think that is fabulous.
Well, it's the little things that make a difference.
We know Coach Pittman didn't have a clue. He just wanted to drink cold beer and eat barbecue. So.
Yeah, I don't think that's altogether true, but I get you what you're saying. But it's some fences needed to be mended, and I think that's what's happening. And it's
and Clay, the sad part about it is the fences shouldn't have had to been mended, because somebody should have told him. He knew who Jim Lindsey was. Don't give me that. You know, you'll never. Of course, I don't know. I've heard from a reliable source that Coach Pittman went to PA and didn't know that. Ask Anthony Lucas where he played college football.
Yeah, I don't know about that story, but it would be sad if it's true.
Oh, it's true, because you think about it. It's a coach in college football that I'm very close to, and his daddy was the coach at UCA that told me about it.
Well, you know what? We just need to move forward.
That's right.
There's nothing you can do to change that, and we just embrace what's right.
I embrace Coach Silverfield. I'm so happy for what he's doing. That's my entire point. Yeah. It doesn't take much to do things right.
Brent, when's the first baseball game you're going to?
When's the first? Probably when it gets a little bit warmer, when it got a high above 55.
Fair enough.
I think that's today.
I got other things to do today, though.
It's a little windy. No, you might. Hey, it might say 55, but it's a little windy up there. You're right.
A little breezy. And you know, I always say, if I can go fishing when it's in the 40s, if the wind's under 5, and you don't feel.
I'm like that with golf. Like if there's no wind and it's 47, I can go. But if it's 53 and the wind's blowing 17 miles an hour.
Well, the problem with golf,
I agree.
When it's cold that.
Thank you, Brent.
Thanks, Brent. When it's cold, when it's in the 40s for golf, I have to wear too many layers.
I can't feel my hands.
Well, and I can't turn. I don't. I mean, it's just like my
whole
body is. Yeah, so that's my excuse anyway, is that I know I'm going to play poorly. I used to play with Harry King when it was bitter cold, and I mean, I went down to Little Rock to play golf with Jim Elder, Harry King, and Paul Eels. And I got to the golf course, and there were snow flurries, and they're all bundled up, and I was like, I don't think I can do this, guys. And they looked at me, and then the blizzard started. And I said, are you guys going to go? And they backed off and said, no, we won't be able to find our golf ball. I mean, when there's snow on the ground, you can't see a white golf ball. That's the problem.
That's true. When's the first game you're good to go to, Clay?
I'm coming this weekend.
Oh, okay. Okay.
I've got 3 or 4 things to do this weekend. I'm going over Friday, stay with Sarah, and there's a Trout Unlimited dinner, which I wrote about in my column. It's at Ho Hog Sports. I wrote about. I've got 2 fly boxes that'll be auctioned Saturday night at the Trout Unlimited dinner, and if I don't like the way the bidding's going, I'll buy them myself.
Mm-hmm.
I'll just keep them. I mean, I put too much into them to let them go cheap, so I'll just buy them back. And I mean, it's like, have you ever had that feeling? It's like, man, I think I'm just going to keep that. I don't really want it to be for sale. But I'll probably go to see some baseball Friday, Saturday, maybe even Sunday. I'll come home Sunday. But I want to go see my boys play.
Is there a newcomer you're looking forward to that you haven't really seen yet play? I mean, not that you haven't seen him practice, but
yeah,
like
he's of course I went down to Arlington and saw the games there.
Oh, that's right.
But I really am fascinated with Colin Fisher. I mean, he was flirting with the no-hitter Sunday. I mean, he gave up 1 hit. It was early, and it was a legit hit. But get this, he's got 4 pitches, but he didn't even throw his split finger because he was so on fire with his fastball curve and change that he didn't throw one of his best pitches. So I'm looking forward to seeing him pitch on Sunday, and he's been on fire the 2 outings that he's had, thrown a lot of strikes, and he's fun to watch because he's quick. I don't mean, quick to the plate. I mean he gets the ball and he's ready.
He's ready to
go. You pitched. You didn't walk around behind the mound, did you, Matt?
I had Kirk Bach. David Watkins is a former Razorback player that played with Bubba up there, but he was my pitching coach when I was a 9th grader, and that's one of the things they instilled in you was it's you're not lollygagging around. You get the ball and we're working. Helps
the defense.
Yeah, let's go. What are you doing? And so that was one of the things that was ingrained in me. Speaking of and I want to kind of ask you this question because I'm a Coach Houston Nutt fan 100%. But if you were to do a Mount Rushmore of Arkansas coaches, legends, would it be this simple right here? And help me if I miss one because I probably will. Frank Broyles, John McDonald, Nolan Richardson, Dave Van Horn. Would you be okay if that was your Mount Rushmore of Arkansas coaches, or am I missing somebody?
That's a good quartet, but I think
Harold Horton, you got to throw him in there. But
I think you got to have you got to have a few more. I mean, I think there's some thought that just because of how bad the basketball program was, that you've got Eddie Sutton that he's a Hall of Famer. He did a lot to kind of get the program going, and then I think the granddaddy of the baseball program, you have to say, is Norm DeBryan. So,
right.
I mean, he went to a bunch of College World Series, and he's got a runner-up finish. So I wouldn't want to leave Norm DeBryan off. It's that's
John McDonald
tough
has
thing.
to be on there.
Oh,
I know
yeah.
track. Yeah.
Oh
yeah.
I mean, when you're talking about 40-something national championships, I mean that's just like a no-brainer. And I look at more than just victories and championships. I just look at what he means to the program. And but yeah, that's where I'd go. And the winningest football coach of all time.
Hatfield,
There's Ken Hatfield.
Yeah.
I love Ken Hatfield.
I got a chance to actually speak one-on-one a couple times with Ken Hatfield, Clay, and one was a couple years ago. It's when I believe we fired Dan Enos in the middle of the season, and I asked him, and it was weird. It's just you're just kind of like, I get around Joe Klein, I get around certain guys, and I don't want to ask him too many questions because you just start thinking, I want to know this, I want to know this. So, but I asked him one question. I was like, hey, Coach, have you ever, when you were coaching, did you ever have to fire one of your coordinators during the middle of the season? And he's looking at me like, no, bro, we never had to do that. It was never that bad.
You're talking about with Coach Hatfield?
Yeah, with Coach Hatfield. Yeah.
I don't think he ever fired a coach.
Yeah.
Not, much less during the season. I think that might have been a little bit of the, the kind of the wedge between Coach Hatfield and Coach Broyles, is that he suggested some guys should be let go, and it's like, I ain't doing that, not doing that. So it was not even up for discussion.
Which we got to get over that. We've done it 2 times in the last 4 years on this football team. We can't have any of this year. We can't have anything for 2, 3, 4 years. We need a little stability that the football team hasn't had.
Yeah, and I mean, I like everything I see of Ryan Silverfield. I mean, I mentioned it earlier. I like what I see with his staff, and I think he did a nice job with roster construction. But time will tell. And I look at the schedule, and there's nothing easy about this job. There's nothing easy about where we're at, NIL and all of that. But by the same token, with the right guy can get it done. And I mean, who would have? And I'm not breaking any news. Who would ever have thought Indiana football would be poised to be a national power? And they are. Now we'll see. He had pretty good luck with the quarterback, and that's where I'm watching with Ryan Silverfield. His biggest job now is to pick the right quarterback among the guys he's got on campus. I mean, none of them are bona fide stars. They've got tools, and I'm talking about the one he brought from Memphis. He's got the tools, and KJ Jackson, he's got the tools. I mean, it's if you look at him, he's got all the magic. He's got a little bit of quickness. He's got arm strength. He's got touch. He looks like he understands the throwing game. But can he run the RPO? And that's there's not a team in college football that doesn't run the RPO now. I mean,
some elements, they're just there's elements of that RPO, and it's real. It's kind of like running an action off of a set in basketball. So you're running an action off your set where whatever the defensive guy does is wrong, and you just do the other, and then you have to have ability. So you have to be able to make the play, obviously. But it's a similar concept. That's why I tell kids when they're in 7th grade or 8th grade, it's like play every single sport you can, because there's elements of everything that are teaching moments. When you're in the off season, you're not competing, you're not learning, now you can do things. I get that, but there's nothing that simulates game action like game action.
So, Matt, when you were playing and David Lee was coaching you, and I know that the midline option was kind of the magic, the X factor.
He could coach that midline now.
Now, how close were you guys to running RPO?
We ran some of that RPO with Gerald Howard. That was all David Lee putting that in. The Wildcat that we ran, that was a Wildcat, but it's with your actual quarterback. So that was the concept where, and what you're doing is you're not reading the 3 technique, you're reading the 5 technique. And so now you're spacing it out, and then you're able to do things a little different by putting the running back on the other side because they have film on you too. And then you're able to do that pop with the bubble. So we'd had Gerald Howard in the slot, and you have George Wilson out beside him. And so you trust that George Wilson is going to make the right play, and it comes down to it. So if the safety comes down, he has to block him. The safety stays back, he blocks his corner guy. And then you're able to read if that hole opens up and he crashes in on the run, you toss it out to Gerald Howard, because something we talked about right when you got on the show. It's about space. It's about timing, and you want to get the ball, and you see it everywhere. I mean, Malachi, the kid at Miami, that's how he was. Tony, that's all he. I mean, you get him in space, and you bring it back to Billy Richmond. So whenever you're playing basketball, and if you're not going to get up and defend the guy because you can't get up and defend him because he'll drive right by you because Billy's first step is as fast as anybody's, well, then what Billy's such an athlete. If you cut every single game, Clay, in this little run that Billy's been doing, he's made at least 2 backdoor cuts to somebody because somebody's overplaying. He's capable of doing that.
Yeah, I think it's critical. What I love that you guys did, and I saw it with Indiana, and they had, I mean, everybody gives credit to Mendoza, and I get it. He's, the magic man with the football in his hands is the difference maker, and he was. But his receivers could make the back shoulder catch.
Mm-hmm. That's tough.
And George Wilson made those catches. I bet he made 30 to 40 of them.
I bet he had that, but I bet at least 8 of his touchdowns, Clay, were on that. We called it a bear ass. So what you do is you throw it at the back of the defenders, and it's not necessarily his ass, but that's what you're trying to skim the back. It's a back shoulder. But whenever that would come into the huddle, bear ass. And that's George Wilson touchdown all over it. Hey, unit, we got to go to a break, and we'll come back and finish this up.
That's every game we play. The other team wants to beat us so bad they act like it's a Super Bowl.
This is halftime. The Hit That Line Now app, fueled by Taco Bell. Online and on the air and now everywhere you go. Tune in to the greatest moments of Razorback sports with Chuck Barrett, Bo Mattingly, Tommy Kraft, Ty Richardson, Phil Elson, Matt Jones, and Ruskin and Zach with our Hit That Line Now app, fueled by Taco Bell. Stay connected no matter where you go with the Hit That Line Now app, fueled by Taco Bell. Download for free in the Apple app or Google Play stores. Just search Hit That Line Now. It's fueled by Taco Bell.
The Crane Automotive Team has 16 locations across Arkansas and is home to the Crane Commitment. You'll find Ford, Chevy, Buick, GMC, Hyundai, Kia, Volkswagen, and access to thousands of pre-owned vehicles. Vehicles for every lifestyle and every budget. Even if you're not in the market for a vehicle, the Crane Team service centers offer the latest in vehicle diagnostic technology and certified technicians to take care of your vehicle and get you back on the road. Check them out at craneteam.com. The Ruskin and Zach studios are driven by the Crane Automotive Team.
Being a father doesn't come with a manual, but you don't have to figure it out alone. Invest Fatherhood is a program of Heart to Heart Pregnancy and Family Care Center, and our Man Up classes bring dads together. This is a network of fathers building stronger families one step at a time, mentally, spiritually, and emotionally. If you're ready to be the dad your kids need, man up, step in, and join the brotherhood. Invest Fatherhood, a Heart to Heart program. Strong fathers change everything. Call Heart to Heart Pregnancy and Family Care Center at 479-452-2260 to sign up today.
Looking for a fence that stands out and stands strong? Call the Fence Man, 479-782-3936. Serving the Fort Smith area for over 40 years, the Fence Man builds custom, one-of-a-kind fences, residential, commercial, and high security. Need automatic gates? The Fence Man does it. Need financing? You got it. 18-month financing is available. Get your free quote today at thefencemanar.com. or call 479-782-3936. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work.
When it's time to stock the bar, fill the cooler, or grab the perfect bottle, stop by River Point Wine and Spirits. You'll love our clean, organized store, full of all the best liquor, wine, and beer at the right price. At River Point, we're a family-owned business where customer service is always our priority. So come stock up for game night, date night, or the weekend ahead. Your journey, our spirit. River Point Wine and Spirits, Grand Avenue and I-540.
Arkansas, it's time to team up and clean up. Celebrate America's 250th birthday by joining in on the greatest American cleanup, happening now through May 31st. From picking up trash to planting wildflowers, there's so much you can do to keep Arkansas beautiful. Organize a cleanup event to make a real impact and earn volunteer hours if you're a student. Visit keeparkansasbeautiful.com to register your event, request a volunteer kit, and get inspired. Brought to you by Keep Arkansas Beautiful, this station, and the Arkansas Broadcasters Association.
Double up your down payment at Harry Robinson's Salisaw Ford. 1 mile south of exit 308 off I-40 in Salisaw. Harry will meet you dollar for dollar for the first $2,000 on your down payment, but only for a limited time.
Yes, right now is the time to buy. Get down here, Harry Robinson, Salisaw Ford. You know, we were talking about this earlier, and we want to make sure this is clear. This is on every single vehicle that we have on the lot. We're going to match your down payment up to $2,000. It doesn't matter what you're looking at, new or used, if it's 50 grand or if it's 10 grand, we're going to match your down payment up to $2,000.
That means $4,000 with only $2,000 coming out of your pocket, and it's a great time to buy a brand new Ford.
Yes, definitely. You know, these 25s that we've got left out here, they are priced. We've discounted and discounted and discounted, and you get a bunch of rebates, and we're going to match your down payment up to $2,000. I mean, it really is the time to buy. I mean, it sounds crazy, but it's real.
Come see Troy and the team and get your double down payment at Harry Robinson's Salisaw Ford. 1 mile south of exit 308 off I-40 in Salisaw.
Call or text the Lewis Automotive Hotline at 877-377-6963. Lewis Automotive, serving drivers since 1946 and built on a tradition of trust.
Taxman taken all my dough and left me in my stately home, blazing on a sunny afternoon. And I can't
Welcome back into halftime, live from the Crabtree RV Center studios. Crabtree RV Center, where RVing is life.
All right, fun show. Please, thank you to Alyssa Orange and Bill King, Phil Elson, as well, Christian Johnson dominating the boards as usual. Fisherman Clay Henry as well. Clay, that was a pretty cool story. You had given some kids some flies. They got to make their own, and then they got a cool one from you. Did you make them all the same, or did you were they each a little bit individual?
Well, we just did a root beer midge, size 16. I tie a lot smaller flies than that. In fact, I went fishing yesterday. I met Nolan Souza at Beaver Tailwater, and we were fishing size 20, and those are tiny. But the bugs in the air were probably size 26, which the larger the number, the smaller the fly. But we tied size 16 because I wanted them to be able to see the hook, and it would be a little easier for the first fly. And if you go to a fly tying class traditionally, that's not the fly that you tie. You tie a woolly booger, and it's a big, big fly. And I think visually it might be easier, but I don't fish those. And on our tailwaters, I wanted these guys at least 15 young men to tie something that they could actually go out there and catch a fish with. And some of them look better than others, but I told them, do not throw them away if you don't like the way they look. And some of them were having a little trouble with the whip finish, which is a special tool that makes a half hitch knot at the end. And we just super glued the last little step so that they won't come apart. And like I say, some of them look better than others, but I think every one of those kids probably could go and catch a fish with that fly. So that was that's the number one fly in our tailwaters, a root beer midge. And I guess I broke with tradition, and maybe some instructors would frown upon that, but I didn't want them to tie something that they couldn't walk out that day and catch a fish with.
Well, I don't know if I'm in the minority with this or not. I don't know. Not today. I don't think I am in this group. But if you're under the age of 18, you need to be fishing 1,000 hours before you get to the age 18. Fishing's amazing. When you're a child, get out there and fish.
Makes you younger.
Oh, I love it. I love it. Get out there and fish, man. Some of the best times I had growing up, me and Pops, looking forward to it, going out there and
I'm going to take them fishing too. I'm going to take them fishing.
Hey, we get Clay Henry again tomorrow. We're going to have a fun show tomorrow.
Look forward to it, Matt.
Yes, sir. Had a fun show today. And Unit, good work as always. And you guys be safe out there. Tell somebody you love them. We'll see you around.
Save up to